Good evening, one and all. It is Sunday. It's Easter Sunday, no less. It's the end of the week, and it's time that we jump in to some more good old Warframe. Welcome on in. Oh, my hair is doing an absolute silly. Why is it doing that? Probably hits with the headphones. Anyway, welcome on everyone. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world. Oh boy, has it been an interesting few days. Certainly for myself, outside of Warframe. Warframe's for Warframing. But for those who know, you definitely know what's up. And for those who don't know, well, at the very least, exclamation mark event result to know what happened on Thursday. But things just kept on happening after that, didn't they? Oh boy, howdy did they just keep on happening after that. But welcome on in, everyone. Welcome on in. Let's see, we have got here at Akaboy, we've got a Mantis, we've got a Hansboomski, a Zillion, a Real Oven Cake. We have got a Cosmo, we've got a Mythic Spirit, we've got a Mel Jade, we've got a Bybitson, we've got a Kelton with a bit right there. Cheers, Kelton, for the pop. I don't know if that played through. Did I accidentally turn it off the other day? No, it should be working fine. There's proof in the pudding. There it is. Hakubo666 with the primary sub up onto 9 months. Hakubo, cheers indeed for that. Much appreciated. Very dainty little sip because there's a very, very fresh mug of tea as well right there. Would you look at that? Mantis! With the Easter gift out to the community. That is 5 gifted subs going out to Hellopline, to Warp Terra Nova, to Wraithlander, to Nocthlu. I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to pronounce that, but that's kind of how the word was supposed to be anyway. And Kiando. Mantis, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs out to the community there. Much appreciated. Cheers. And we have from Gelton a request for a secret menu. 4, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. There we are. Secret menu 4. And Zellion with the tier 1 resub up onto 4 months as well. Zellion of the 564 variety. Thank you very much for that as well. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. It's not Cthulhu. It's, I mean, it could be. Might not be. The capitalization isn't there, so we can't be certain. We can't be certain. We just can't be certain. Anyway, a light change has gone through, so that's updated for Kelton. I think it's about time that we get on with the rest of everything, with a hype train running as well. What a way to start the stream, eh? Straight into a hype train, love it. And a happy Easter to you as well, Haphazard. Happy Easter to you. Alright then, so previously on the Engineer, we had a video on the Sporothrix, this interesting weapon which can do a little bit of damage. Believe it or not, it can do a bit of damage. And in fact, to verify that, let's just re-equip some bits and pieces here. Give us some crit support because I could do that. Still need to get a ribbon for Verglass. But until I do, full clock will fit the bill. It'll fit the bill. And yeah, let's just take the Sporothrix as is into a mission. I've got it rivened up in fuller slash. If you're not able to use a riven there, then a primed bane of something or other is usually a good shout for what it is capable of. And yeah, let's just go blow some things up for a sec. Just obliterate things. This is the original Sporothrix. It's the original one. Let's go for a good standard Selkie. Actually, I'm going to mix it up on this one. Let's go to the Saturn one. Let's go to Titan. That's the one, Titan. Straight up there. Does levels have high heals? I think so, yes. Gotta keep that separation from the corrosive elements he leaves everywhere, I guess.
And the enemy calls for a
Either that or is apparently designed for horse riding, is therefore a Duviri frame. Go figure. Any recommendations from today's Coda resets? We have a 60% Sporothrix going around, is what I understand. I believe that's in the current set of them. I need to get this started up. Focus on those headshots. Come on, Ken. There we go. Got those starting headshots. Wow, he really just took that one. And now I can just go for the Blapinating. Yep, it does the job quite nicely, as we can see. Aim to know, Sporothrix good. I wonder what we're looking into this stream. I wonder what we're looking into. As we can see, it does indeed have that capability to deal damage. Slash cutting right through them, as is the way. It has that small AoE on it. It's not an impressive AoE, just a small little one. Get some work done. It does mean you want something pretty tanky for using this weapon if you're going to use it in this way. Either tanky or invisible, so that you don't have to constantly stop aiming. Being able to aim is crucial. And if you're as slow as me, having the time to aim is beautiful. But just look at that. Imagine a frame that had to constantly be casting abilities to shield gate, or jumping all over the place to evade damage, and we could just tankily just point and click. It's much better that way. Now, at the moment, we're getting not a huge kill rate, I'll be honest. With the way I'm killing here, we're not getting a huge kill rate with this setup. And Slash, if I do recall, this was built back when Slash was more important. Slash is now far less relevant than it used to be. So it's no surprise to me that it is also now suffering from that.
Life support on the way.
I mean, it's still working, it's just not incredible. And again, reminder, this is normal Sporothrix at the moment with a Slash focus build. Alania, thank you very much for resubscribing there, up onto 12 months. You got a whole 1 year streak. You're up onto that full pot. Absolutely beautiful right there. Alania, hello to you as well. Welcome on in. Much appreciated. Oh, now a specific Hydrate Redeem from Zekarize. Cheers. I'm just going to keep the enemies off me for a millisec. Get lapped, idiots. Jade saying the Coda Sporothrix could be identical to normal 1, it would still be an upgrade because of the acquisition method. Very true, I get you on that. Very true. I've just gone and ruined the Slash on this by infusing heat. That was silly of me. That was just muscle memory going, oh yeah, we infuse heat because heat good. So, I guess I've got a moment of lots more elemental damage rather than a Slash focus build, but it's fine. If anything, we're just seeing the effects of that. At least I didn't go for gas. That is something I want to get around to, but not do right this second. There we are. Apologies if you hear any noise in the background. It sounds like my housemate has decided this is the perfect time to come in and be loud on the stairs, but it's fine. I'm sure they remember that I stream on Sundays. Like I said, built a Coda Sporothrix for heat, works surprisingly well. Yeah, I mean, heat in an explosion will work. Heat in an explosion will just work. It's just more of a question as to how much of an improvement is it? Is it enough to matter? And what other considerations come into play? Because that progenitor element isn't optional. You have to have a progenitor on it. That's how it works. So how does that affect things? Especially with a Slash build, where there is no Slash progenitor. How does that change into things? Hi, Mania. Nope, Mania's gone projectile immune for a bit.
The operative has just made their first discovery.
And then stands right on top of me, so all my projectiles go nowhere. Because I'm shooting through a whirlwind. 347 kills here, not amazing. I'm just going to skip Mania because I cannot be bothered. That was 347 kills in a 5-minute run. How did I end up in the rafters? Yeah. You really want to die? You really want to die? Then perish. That'll do. Just wouldn't let me go, would he? And again, I'm landing a little too high. There we are. Alright, from Perunus saying, hey Ken, small question, running Blast Electric on Temple's guitar, so would it be worth running Elementalist given Ripper's Wail interaction with status damage modifiers? Given that Ripper's Wail status damage modifiers shows that you're not thinking about where it applies it and how it applies it. You're talking about your Blast Electric, but if you're using Ripper's Wail, the majority of your damage is going to be heat. So the Blast Electric is kind of immaterial. It's just immaterial at that point. You're mostly dealing heat damage as procs, and it is only those heat procs which are going to be affected by Temple's Wail. So are you relying on your blast and electric, or are you relying on your heat? The answer lies within that question. If you're relying on your heat procs for the majority of your damage, then you'll want to use heat element mods. If you're relying, however, on the blast electric, you're going to want status damage mod. So yeah, that's the way it breaks down on that. What are you actually doing with the weapon? Because you've got some conflicting details in your question there. Alright, 1 sec. Just gonna shut that door a bit. Sorry, the door will come ajar in the office. Alright. Okay. So that was Slash Sporothrix, and I have to say I'm not particularly impressed with it. Not particularly impressed. So, let's have a look at another approach. Now, I've got these set up previously. The arcane fell off this one. Previously with a heat setup. Let's put the deadhead back on there. But let's change that heat up. Got a radiator reload on there as well, that's fine. Let's change that heat into toxin. Sorry, gas. Change the heat into gas, especially with Lavos' passive giving us enhanced status duration as well. I'm curious as to how that'll play out, because that could affect the options we have available to us. Gas could be the way, blast could be the way, but I think gas is probably the one to look at right this second. Let's see how it comes together. Sorry, saying, hey kid, saw you post on status damage shenanigans and wondered, within this formation would electric get elemental scaling and status scaling, since elements usually scale with modded strength? I'm not sure what your question is. I'll be quite honest with you, I'm not sure what your question actually is there. Because I've made it very clear in the post, direct damage, the valence formation is an elemental bonus. For status damage, it's a status damage bonus. It's not any chance of applying twice. There is no applying twice. It applies one way on one type of damage and another way on another. So I really don't know what your question is, sorry. Other than I think you may be misunderstanding how the bonus works. Someone was saying, love the sniper but can't get used to the scope. Oh, we got an option for that. There you go. Don't like the scope? Don't use the scope. You can still use the zoom, although if you have a ribbon you can get a minus zoom on it. Now this has got radiation from radiated reload. I might actually take that off because it's causing enemies to dick around shooting each other rather than showing me their head. Oh, look at those damage ticks go. Yeah, I might just take the radiation off. I don't like it distracting enemies so much here. What happened to the scope? I went into the settings and I turned it off. Use sniper scopes. You can turn it on and off. It's just a feature. So if you don't like all that visual clutter, if you feel like it throws you off your game, turn it off. You didn't know setting existed? Yeah, fair enough. It's not exactly a well-communicated one. It's just not one I've never felt the need to put into a video either. Just a scope.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area.
I'm again not using valence formation here, despite the obvious benefits it could provide. So we can see about the capabilities of the gun, with just a bit of stage duration from Lavos, because Lavos is awesome. Now I'm wondering, how many kills am I actually getting from the gas versus kills from just the weapon? It's annoying that there's no way to tell that kind of thing, like, empirically, or factually. We can't ask the game at the end of the mission, alright, how many died to gas procs? It doesn't tell us that information. And it would be so nice if we could. It's something I've wanted for years, to be able to access a detailed breakdown. What enemies die to what. But we can't access that kind of breakdown, sadly. There is no individual kill log that one could piecemeal go over or analyze with a program. All we get is headshot kills, melee kills, total kills. Can't even distinguish between melee kills from us and melee kills from our companion. Just melee kills. Coda has very big visual recoil when unscoped. Does the normal do that too? I currently have a Riven on, and that is affecting the stats, so don't judge what you're seeing here as a universal experience. I'm testing what I had previously to them with the Sporothrix Coda version, and then we can get into nitty-gritty from there. But yeah, that Riven isn't the most amazing, but this one of the features is that recoil removal. I can just point and click. I guess it's getting some work done there. Bloody radiation though, causing them to stay outside of the gas cloud. Yeah, I'm taking the radiation off. It has some defensive uses, but overall it's mostly annoying. And again, I think that might be a relic from before the hit point changes. I can't exactly remember where those came in with regards to my build, but yeah. Current loadout doesn't have a Riven? Oh, does it not? Okay. Oh, I must only have that on my slash build. Hi, Torment. I think my light just flickered. IRL. Kind of concerning. Rip. Life support running out. How? Oh, kill rate is really low again. It was fine on the previous run, which had about the same kill rate. That's kind of weird. That is kind of weird. But I suppose I was just lucky on the previous run. Ultimately, kill rate not looking too PG here. And I do think part of that is down to that radiation, but part of it is down to just...
The operative has just made their
it's only okay.
discovery.
At least if we're not using any boost
When you are ready,
to buff the weapon. If you have to use boost to buff the weapon, you can say that about any weapon.
support levels. Extraction.
Radiation? Yes, radiation is a thing. Don't know how to answer a question that is just radiation question mark, but I'm sure you have a question. There we are.
A valuable lesson.
How is Lavos this tanky? Because he is. Okay, Meljed, so saying Sporothrix came out... sorry, my Sporothrix video came out Jan 20th, 2024. Jade Shadows was June 2024. I take it from that, then you were saying Jade Shadows was specifically the change to the elemental setups and enemy armor. Does the explosion use the modded elements? Yes. Yes, it does. Right, yeah, that was completely without any ribbon on it, so I do take back the earlier comment there. And in fact, the only recoil reduction is this. Add a Bane Murmur on. Oops, I should have taken that off. I should have taken that off and swapped it out for the appropriate one. That would have done more damage, wouldn't it? Okay, let's switch things up then. So, radiated reload, get you out. Let's go with... What will be a sensible one here at the moment? Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, we could do that, but... No, I'll pass. In fact, no, the crits are useless to us. Think Fast Hands is worth it? The reload is a little bit long, which is why Radiated Reload was on there in the first place. So Fast Hands may indeed be an option here. And I have got a primed one if I really want to go that fancy. Although I am one pip away from making it fit, which is a little bit frustrating. Not gonna lie to you. That is a little bit frustrating. Oh dear, okay. Most likely I'm gonna have to use a V-Polarity. I don't want to use a Ribbon on this right now. I could technically put Serration on, but that feels ridiculous. It's technically an option, just as so is Prime Firestorm technically an option, although that AoE goes up to 1.7 to 2.45. Not really much of an increase. It is an increase. I don't know if it's good enough increase, really. We're not using crits, so bladed rounds is pointless. Hammer shot, as much as giving crit damage. Oh, wasn't I using this previously with Arcane Avenger? Yes, because my go-to levels at the time was Avenger. So that'll be where some of the damage was before. Yeah. Imagine Firestorm only scales base AoE, not improved AoE from Orbit. I would imagine so, yes. Which makes it even worse. And also makes the upgrade onto the Coda variant even worse as well. Yeah, if I go with that, I've not got a Vital Sense on here. I could just go Vital Sense, in all honesty. Optional crit boost of Adaza. Adaza would give that crit boost half the time as well, wouldn't it? Yeah. But for now, let's give this one a retry. Try and get a situation, a power that I'm satisfied with, and then we convert that over to the Coda variant. Let's give that a try now. Yeah, I thought about that, Zom. I did think about adjusting the elemental weighting sidewardly. Go for the 60-60 gases there and bringing in the fast hands, but overall I think this should come out better for us, as I am phase tanking the hits as well, as if I get an orange crit. Sure, why not? Oh, but yeah, that reload without the benefit to it, I'm feeling it. But now the enemies should cluster into these kill boxes I'm trying to generate. Don't know if it's doing much of a kill box, though. Okay, no. If I do a few taps there, that should leave a couple gas clouds, and a few of them are popping into it. Grab the loot. I've got myself a lovely farming location here by the seams of it. Oh, sadly no gas on that. So that should create quite the gas cloud for a few seconds, and sure enough, yeah, they run into it. And it stings. Larry, what's your actual question, please? Would status duration prolong the duration of the clouds? Yes. That's why Lavos is already helping this, and it's why I might consider using a status duration mod instead here. It's finding that ideal situation. At least whilst I'm reloading, the gas clouds are still doing work. Nope. I went to shoot that guy, he fell over a mid-roll and just perished. The gas clouds aren't that amazing, all told. At least not for this particular farming spot, it seems. And again, it's hard for me to keep track. It is hard for me to keep track how many enemies are dying to me versus the gas. And it just feels like there isn't any way for me to practically know that, and I don't like that. It's a toughie.
Another life support capsule is now available.
One thing I can say is that removing the radiation caused the enemies to continue moving into this kill box, rather than stop and shoot at the ones who were in there. That has made the difference as positive. It is definitely a positive there. And I think by the same token, switching to Blast to just more reliably kill the area around the enemies at the moment of firing would be a loss here. I'd say Blast would probably be better if you couldn't get the stage duration. But yeah, if kill rate is your goal, radiation is usually a negative, unfortunately. Oh, where's that? Where's the Jade Xmas? It targeted me, so where is it? What? Okay, missed my shots there, that's unfortunate. There's the Jade! That was really weird that they targeted me well before I could see them. That was really weird to me. Maybe I was blind and just couldn't see him in the mess of things, but it didn't look like they were in my field of view. Daylight jump scare? It's not so much a jump scare as just a frustration. Because the Jade Light Beam has a surprising amount of health, so shooting it down is often frustrating even if you do land the hits. That requires you being able to aim. Again, refer to the fact that I am shit to aim. To then have it where the Jade it's coming from can be pretty out of sight. It can just be frustrating at times. Where did you get radiation from? Alright, we're at 5 minutes, 537 kills. That is substantially better, but I did also get a pretty decent farming tile there, so that does skew the results, I'll be honest with you. I hate how the light and the Xmas owning it have separate targeting. Yeah, they latch it onto you and then it auto follows you, even if you break line of sight with the Xmas. It's just one of those things. It's certainly nowhere near as horrible as the old Energy Leech Xmas, where they would just exist in your general postcode and down goes your energy. It's nowhere near that much of a problem. Elio asking, are we entering the gas era? Seems like it's turning up in builds suspiciously often these days. It's just that we've reached a level of power where we can get the damage, the crit, the status necessary to make it where a lingering gas cloud isn't just a tickle joke. Enemies have had their armor reduced, so even if they're armored enemies, we don't need to worry so much about cutting through that compared to more old school approaches like slash viral, heap viral, or corrosive. We don't have to beat the armor, we can simply brute force our way through it. So by combining all those details together, we've got much more power available to us, we've got a far lower armor threshold to worry about. That means that the negatives of gas are much more manageable. Even then, gas is still only so good as your ability to apply it, and part of that comes down to it doesn't work on high status weapons, because you'll hit your gas proc limit and then you're just missing out on damage. It doesn't work on terribly low status weapons because you just don't have the gas. If you don't have a good farming environment, if you're moving through a mission, gas is no good. You're leaving lingering clouds where nothing's going to walk into it. So it's only now for specialized environments where you've got enemies pouring into the same kill box. And then you still want the status duration to bring it up as well, and that's only got space available if the weapon is already capable of carrying itself otherwise. So gas has got more of a place these days, but that's not so much because gas got better, it's because everything else moved in our favor around it. It's given us enough power that having those AoEs kind of works. You look at, for example, with Ash. Ash has the ability to use gas to lethal effect because Ash doesn't need to mod some of the things you'd need to mod for, and because Ash didn't previously have the ability to apply gas clouds like that. Even then, we still cheat in the stats. So yeah. Gas has a place, and it is nice to see, but I wouldn't call it a gas era. It's more of a gas is no longer a complete laughing stock. Unless you're using some kind of Zephyr bullshit. And that's really where it used to be. Just if you had some way of super scooping enemies, usually Zephyr, then it had a chance. As I'm saying, gas uses to be the kinda in the same place as before. What the? Zom, please. Just way more stuff can brute force now. More things can brute force, yeah. We can get enough gas. Sorry, your brain is mush? Fair enough. Just... I had a half stroke reading that first sentence, not gonna lie. I still, right now, I think what you're saying is gas is still in the same place as it was before. Roughly. Which, sure. Like I say, gas hasn't really gained anything. It still has all of its same downsides. It's just we have enough other upsides. Just enough. And so yeah, the reload time on this one, it felt a bit painful. Definitely. I don't know if it was that much of a problem. Also, with the kill rate this was getting, there's every reason you could swap out Deadhead here for Merciless. So we'd lose the recoil reduction, which would stink, but we gain 30% reload speed. So that could definitely be an option there. Otherwise, dropping the Vital Sense and changing this to a 60-60 heat mod, giving us room then to bring in Primed Fast Hands for that reload speed, that could work as well, maintaining our Deadhead, maintaining our recoil control. There is also the Excellent slot, which I've not been utilising so far. That can also give us weapon recoil reduction. This is only a 50% compared to 60%, so this would be even stronger. And we see it's already sufficient at 50. So there are trade-offs there. It comes down to what would be your preference. It would come down to what would be your preference. Stabilizer can use the Excellent slot where Prime Fast Hands cannot, because this one is considered DPS buff. As I'll say, if only there were recently a primed recoil mod for primaries. Is there one? Because if there was, I completely forgot about it. May not have picked it up. So I don't know on that. Semi-rifle cannonade can replace the Acolyte Arcane. Semi-rifle cannonade. Whole bunch of damage And then the punch through there. Is that... need to take two things off. Just, Fire rate cannot be modified. Okay. We're not using fire bonuses, but I do still have them on my companion. We definitely can use that. The question is, on the arcane, what are we... If we're swapping out the arcane, okay, what are we swapping out with this as well, then? I suppose theoretically galvanize aptitude? I don't know. Came out this week, Prime Stabilizer. Oh, did I just completely miss that one? Fair enough. I was a bit busy this weekend. Oops. We'll replace Deadhead. That is a question. It's like, okay, we've got a 360% bonus, and then we have the option of instead having a smaller damage bonus and punch through that we don't need for, well, something. Crux's ammo efficiency? I guess. Sure, you can fire 2.5 times as long. Gain a bunch of status chance. Not sure how much we need that. I mean, it's got a place, I'll be honest. It's got a place, but yeah. Cannonade over hammer shot. That's possible. That is possible. You know what, let's give that a try. Let's give that a try. Cannonade over hammer shot. Swap this for Crux. Lost the recoil reduction here. We've lost a little bit of crit damage. We can no longer modify the fire rate, so the companion bonus is lost to us. But we gain a whole bunch of status, and we reload less often. Yeah. Original Judges say, what if I am telling you Acuity mod can multi-shot with help of Galvanize mod? They say question mark. Been trying it and the buff is on? Exclamation mark. I'm not sure what you're experiencing there. Are you suggesting that Galvanized... What's it? Galvanized? What? Yeah, Galvanized Chamber works despite the fact that this says it shouldn't work. Now you say that the buff is on. The buff can show on the buff bar, but may not be actually active. Yeah. Is Galvanized Aptitude additive or multiplicative? I forget, I'll be honest. It's a projectile, so I believe it should be multiplicative, but I forget. Given it was on the build originally, I'm going to say multiplicative. At least on the direct hit. The AoE, it should have no effect. But the AoE is tiny in comparison, which is why we're going for the gas. Byte saying on Sporothrix it's additive. Interesting. Is there a video on the EVE event? There is not, no. For operational security, it was not recorded. Squibber say, I remember because it was a mult. Okay, you remember it's not. Okay. Sure, Zombie, if you want to pull up a sheet, sure, why not? Alright, so that's potentially merely additive. Which is less great, and almost then makes one wonder, if we've got status chance coming from this, drop that entirely and go for a Serration even at that point. Let's just give this a re-well. Before we keep changing too much, let's just give this another well. 1% crit chance? Yeah, this is normal Sporothrix, has 1%, which is why I use something like Arcane Avenger to go, nah, screw that, we're having more. Other options naturally include things like Harrow, or Adaza Kavat. But yeah, forced crit chance fixes that.
Is more powerful than before. Only with
Alright,
true
we appear with the
mastery
same spawn rune, which is
will you
neat.
succeed.
Borrows additive on sheet.
Life
Okay.
support has been cut off. They're trying to
Alright, we'll bear that in mind then.
Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Let's get that kill box started up. So far, hard to really say, to be honest with you. I can feel the lower fire rate. Whatever that's worth. Nice, the enemies didn't hide around the corner. Do we have... Yeah, we're getting enough damage on some gas clouds to actually kill. So that is good. Getting also shot in the back, which is less good. Wow, I appear to have killed a whole bunch in this direction. What's going on here? Okay, yeah, I set up a bit of a kill box in there, didn't I? That's the choke point we're looking for. And still works for this one as well.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it.
Yeah, for a while there, they were just kind of wandering into it. Yep. Just leading to it over that side. Oh, ran out of ammo at just the wrong time. Yoink. It's a lot of damage. That's gas clouds for you. If you can stack up enough damage in a tight area, it actually matters. But you need to already have a shitload of damage in a very tight area. Sorry, saying extra status should scale the range of the clouds a bit and help with overlap. It should help a little bit, yeah. You are very right on that. Depends on just how many gas procs actually get to apply, but it should do, yeah. Scoop all that, get back into here before it affects enemy spawns.
Another life support capsule is now available.
What kind of kill rate we're looking at now? Pretty damn spicy. We've got ourselves a very good spawn room for this, but also the gas is in a good position. Very good on that. As you can tell by the sheer amount of life support drops. We are not starving for life support. Yeah, just a couple shots into there does all the work, doesn't it? Look at that mess. And we just spin around, slap one thing over there, and pop goes everything. Oh, there's a Jade. There is no longer a Jade. Do I think Quincy would love this? Quincy could certainly make use of it with the whole shooting through walls. Set up the kill box wherever you damn well please at that point. What elements is 60% bonus? In the shop, I believe it's currently Impact. I might be incorrect, but I think it's Impact. And this is without using the features of Lavos, other than having access to Arcane Avenger. And just tanking. I'm not using Lavos' abilities here, other than Arcane Avenger, tank, and the status duration bonus. Which, let's face it, the status duration bonus is a big deal here. It is a big passive deal. Hi, Misery. Oh, you're gonna teleport right to me? Yeah. There we go.
Our operative is making progress. This will help our cause. When you need it, extraction is...
Alright, 5 minutes, 800 kills in 5 minutes. 160 kills per minute there. That's getting some work done. That is getting some work done. MC Gamers made a build? Cool. Good for MC Gamers. I don't copy other tubers, so I won't have a look at that one. Does Valence add any proc to AoE or just a projectile shot? Any hit, so AoE will be included, yes. Oh, for goodness sake, I did not want to jump up there. What was that? I was trying to come across this and it just went, oh, let's just jump to the fucking moon.
It is done.
That was ridiculous. Do you have any vigilante mods equipped? A couple of them on the companion. So that is what's giving us our occasional orange crits. Despite a 1% crit chance. Oh, is it electric in the war mode? Oh, it must have been something else the other day then. There was 60% impact. Never mind. Let's just pop down to the wall and refresh myself on this. Alright, head over to Elena, Coda weapons. Sporothrix, yep, 60% electric. Cool. What else have we actually got in the store at the moment? 55.5 radiation on the Coda Toxica. Crap, mega crap, and 53.7% on the Catabolist. Which is not amazing on that one. That one is one step from max. This one... No, yeah, that should be one step from max as well, because one upgrade would put you how much, actually? Oh yeah, 59.07, which should round up to 60. So yeah, you got two of them which are one step away from max. That said... if you're able to wait, you can avoid this situation. I have a 60% electric and a 54.2% electric. Because this one was also just one upgrade away. So we can just grab the next Sporothrix and it'll be... So that one is a literal waste of space. Complete waste of space. It's not even a different element. It is a literal waste. Look is a lie? The thing is, the whole community got hit by that one. Everyone gets the same options, so everyone had the same opportunity to go, oh look, that one's only one away, and it's electric, let's go get that one. Bam! Straight up psych from Elena right there. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, so any further adjustment to this? As we said, this is additive with the damage bonus from semi-rifle cannonade, which means that even if we are getting 3 status stacks for us to then trigger off of, it would still end up at equal damage bonus to this. So less than double damage with that mod. Overall. What do the tickets do? The tickets enter you into the raffle. Well, let's see then. Because going for Serratia alongside this to at least have the up front, it's still not amazing because this is just straight up to 40% damage. So I'm not overly enthusiastic about that idea. I could do that and then have just enough room for prime fast hands that reload time comes right the way down, but Did I remove the ticket command? No, I did not. It's just, it goes onto a global cooldown if someone immediately before you has already just used it, Bite. Scroll up. Yeah. You could go for energy bonus, I suppose, if you really want to. It's not completely off the wall at this point. It is available to one. The other thing here I'm not currently using is just straight up Elementalist, right? If we're going for gas build gas. And this is assuming you're not using Lavos for gas infusion, of course. Because that should just tie in very nicely to the rest of it. And our punch through at this point is starting to try and get a bit stupid, except that punch through has then been taken away by... is it this? Or is it just we can't have punch through on this kind of weapon, which is kind of sad then. We've now got 2 punch through mods doing no punch through. They are. Punch through is locked to 4. It says locked to 0 to me. Yeah, plus 3 punch through. Yeah, so it'd be 3 punch through. UI being UI since fucking ever. Yeah. Okay, so with those adjustments and just acknowledging that the game likes lying about things because it doesn't understand itself, let's give that one final run through, and then let's have a look at the Coda variant, which I'm probably going to need to spend some time leveling and forming.
Your enemies have grown fierce. Use all that you have learned.
There we go.
Life support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Well, we can see the blinky gas clouds in there, and that do appear to be doing the do. When you think about it, it's kind of funny that we have to hit the enemies for the gas clouds to happen, even though it's the weapon causing the gas cloud. So if you shoot terrain, it doesn't create a gas cloud there. It's only if it hits an enemy. Never think about that. Oh, hi. Now this is not as ideal a location to sit in and farm compared to that previous mission.
Life support incoming.
This terrain just not great for it. Still farmable, just not the same kind of kill box. That is probably going to impact our raids here significantly. So I've got them coming through here, coming in down here. Let's see if I can move through. Actually, where are they all rooting from up here?
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area.
Could probably make use of these areas. Just miss every shot on those. It's fine. Jade Xmas immediately saw me and then hid behind a pillar. Tactically it's sound. Gameplay? Frustrating. From their perspective, that's what they should be doing. Cast the Jade Beam on you, get out of sight so they can't be shot back. No point acting like we'd do different. No different. That was a couple things.
Prepare for life support.
Trying to set a gas cloud up that they'll actually walk into. Oh, hello. It does feel like that previous tile in the other mission was something special. Just the sheer volume of enemies we can get in one tight spot is very good for it.
Another life support capsule is now available.
I heard a headshot behind me, that was weird. Would target acquired buff the gas damage? Target acquired. Sorry, I don't remember the mod off the top of my head. Can you walk me through that one? Hi, Misery. Hi, Misery. 60% headshot damage? Yeah, then yes. Headshot damage buff status rocks. How are we doing on this kill rate here? So this is lower, but I do attribute this to the tile. Getting a good farming tile is crucial for getting really good results. Like, if you saw the previous mission, you can see the difference here in how much effort it's taking to get a lethal cloud compared to previously. How easy I can lock down, or not easy I can lock down a single location. The way they are splitting across these two ramps up here, it's such a wide area. I'm not getting anywhere near the same concentration of effect. Lethal Cloud sounds like an orbit mod? I suppose, yeah. Alright, so that's 645 kills. Still a good rate. Don't get me wrong, that is still a very good rate. Easily enough to maintain life support. The downside is, again, just the tile we got. That's why I did not hit the 800 of that previous one. That previous one was just stonkingly good. If you hit 100 kills per minute in a Grenadier survival mission, you're doing plenty fine. At least for Steel Path. Outside of Steel Path, it's just not possible in a reasonable setup.
Your will was
But,
greater. This is
160. That was spicy earlier. Okay. So let's consider this in the context of the Coda Sporothrix. And first on that is, what polarities does that damn thing come with? That's the 60% one. It comes with a single D polarity. Okay. And just to double check, I didn't put anything into the other one yet, have I? No. Good. Okay. I'll just use this one. Alright, let's slap in an adapter. Let's slap on a Tato. There we go. And I suppose just copy it over. Can I copy straight from here, or is it going to argue on that thought? Oh, I can copy straight. What is it? That wasn't even the build I wanted. It's this one. Let's, for the time being, pop that and that on. There we go. Bollocks, I put it on the wrong one. Let's try that again. So I guess it's this one. But cheers for the bit. 6 Coda slain so far. Every single one of them needed either soft save, computer cop, or Trojan tracker. Yeah, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Alright, a couple of mods couldn't make it on here because we just need to level it up, but wait, didn't I change it to not? Was I using config C? I was using config C. Okay. Whoops, my bad. Let's copy that over to here. Alright then. We've got damage, we've got gas, got elementalist, prime bane and Grenier. Vital sense needs to swap out for at least the Orban for now. I forgot what it's called. I will just search Sporothrix. There it is, volatile variant. We'll just level it up with that. Carbon DM, thank you very much for subscribing with your Prime. Welcome on into the channel proper and enjoy the lovely blue sub badge. No more ads for you, and all the other bits and pieces come along with that. Cheers. Oh.
The art of combat must be practiced to truly master the
Alright, let's get this on running. Well, the Riven stats on the Coda. I'm not using the Riven at the moment, but I think it has reduced recoil, increased slash, reduced puncture, and something. Now, if I recall down here, if that leads... Oh, yeah, this is leading towards the next part of the room. So this should be a good camping spot because we can do, once again, that particular area, which was very effective before. So that should level this up quite nicely. Just look at that go. The beautiful sound of Grenier constantly falling over.
Prepare for life support.
Void say, I usually only keep one of each weapon, especially now I kind of vice the element. What's the benefit of having multiple? There isn't. The reason I have multiple is that D previously gave us a 54% one. I was like, oh, cool. Well, that's only one upgrade away from 60%. And then the next one comes out, it's a 60%. I did not choose this life. D tricked us into it.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
It does feel a bit crap. Hey, it is what it is. Do you want to give us random? We get random. Sometimes random sucks. We all know that. You just fuse 60% onto your already 541? Yeah. Which, if your 541 was the 54% or whatever it was already one valence away from max anyway. So, 60 or not, it's just kind of Yay for the 60 for the people who didn't buy the 54. For everyone else, yay! Yeah. There's good RNG, none of us really lost anything. None of us really lost anything in what we'd already signed up for, sure. Anyone who purchased the not 60% went in knowing that they did not have a perfected item and would need to make one more purchase to perfect it. Yes. The perfection happened to come fully packaged for everyone else, fair enough. But there is still a time loss. Time that could have been spent elsewise had one only the foresight of how soon a 60% Sporothrix would come around, but it's fine. For a certain definition of fine, it's fine. Is that lethal damage at that point? Yeah, that's going to hold for a moment. Grab all of this lot. Oh, hello. Grab all of that lot. How much fire is there behind me? I don't understand the question. That's a truly novel question of questions I do not understand where the hell you're even going with that. I said it's fine. Okay. Meme reference, got it. Alright. That was obscure, mate. That was obscure. There was no way I was going to pick up on that one. Didn't think it was that obscure? Sure, because it was in your head. It's a very different this is fine. Very different. But, hey, it's your joke. You laugh at it. Have your time, it's fine. Not like there's a rule against bad jokes or anything. You're fine. Alright, 5 minutes. 677. That's
This will help our
lower,
cause.
but then we're not fully modded, so it's fine.
Extraction is available if you need it.
I'm leaving, but I haven't actually finished ranking it. Oops. I've let my affinity booster run out. That's what that is. Oopsies. Sorry, I'm back. Hold on, let's continue the murdering. Let's levels this up. So by adding in Lavos' Valence Formation, the status damage is going to increase a lot. We've got guaranteed gas procs on top of everything else. That should just be hitting harder still. That looks pretty hard. And then that guy is just like, yep, I'm going to survive this for a while. Not an insta-kill. Let's make that harder. God damn it. I was looking at the effectiveness. Don't beam my face. Trying to see how well I was working. There we go. And yeah, more save restoration would just be better here. I have seen some people talking about using a very high duration Lavos build to make the status procs just obnoxiously long. And I will be honest, it's not one I had explored in previous videos. It is not one I had previously explored. What weapon is this? Sporothrix. Coda variant. First leveling. That was a nice 2 million damage hit. Look at that gas proc as a result. Nope, I'm just mistiming all of those shots. It's fine. Just started Hex Quest? Fair enough. Do I also make level cap videos? No. I am completely uninterested in level cap. It is an extrapolation of the numbers, not to mention an incredible time commitment to do nothing of interest to me, to be quite honest. Actually nothing of interest. High violence. Do you want to just fall over dead? Alright, that works, yeah. Oh, weird man. No, 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 no. Why are we hitting that guy for a finisher? I was picking up my gun, damn it. What about picking up gun says do finish with glaive? Stupid Lavos. bro, stop. Go. Get you off of me. Thank you very much. Coda Sporothrix pains you because you spent so long farming the normal one. Hey, I mean, now you have both. It's not like you didn't have the Sporothrix for quite a long time first to enjoy, I suppose. Engineering checks must have no power here. Doubly so because I'm using Worm, yeah. Rank 24, we're getting there. I was just sprinting off into a corner. Yeah, getting normal Sporothrix is a bit of an ordeal. Do not recommend.
We will all share in this bounty. Hold out as long as you can.
Now sure, this isn't the most optimal way to level up this weapon. I could probably be done in a fraction of the time if I went through something like Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, or just purchased a booster, to be honest. But it allows me to get a good feel for the weapon process. It's only both for MR. Do you? Do you need both for MR? Do you really? Or is it better described as the original still provides you MR if you carry enough over 3000 MR? I've never acted like mastery up at such a high end as necessary, and I maintain it to this day. There's no need about it whatsoever. MR17, you have access to everything but easy formering, really, and the relay blessing. You get to MR30, there's still multiple legendary ranks left over, and you've got basically all the benefits you're going to pick up. Yeah. Increased rep caps are super nice? Absolutely, yes. They're super nice. There is quality of life, but there's no need. You get to do more in a day. And even then, for all of the awkward weapons out there, which there aren't that many all told, but for all the awkward ones out there, he straight up animated under my shot. Damage cap on Acolytes is so frustrating with non-crit weapons. As I say, for all the awkward things out there, you can just skip them and miss out on like a couple ranks. There is so much you can just optionally ignore and you'll be fine. Rank 28. You need everything from MR, but you don't need MR that much. I think you're breaking the word need now, Salvatore, and that's, with your remote, that's straying into bad joke territory. Come on now. Read the room. Please reuse iframes with me, both hate and respect that. I just dodged. It just dodged me. It was better. When sniper, duck. We're 29, come on. Still 29. Come on, we're at 1,803 kills. How are we not all the way there? Worms down. 30. There we go. That's only going to get longer. Highest is still the XP? Pfft, barely. I think the XP on that is just from Affinity Orb pickups, maybe? Don't know if it's even that. There we go.
A valuable lesson.
In fact, no, the Tysis XP is probably just from ability casting. Looking at the value there, 275. I think that might just be the global affinity from ability casts. But yeah, if we just break from the Coda Sporothrix for a moment here. If I go onto the wiki, because there's no in-game record of this, I go mastery rank. Let's see, what is required per mastery rank? At the legendary tiers, it's 147,500. I'm currently legendary 4 and just slightly into it. So from true master to where I'm at is well, just 4 lots of 147,500 roughly. That's about 590,000. I'm a little bit over, so let's call that straight up 600,000 MR. I have 600,000 mastery over MR 30. Which comes out to, what, 200 weapons? 200 extra weapons. A Warframe or Companion will count for 2 weapons worth, but otherwise take it from there. 200 weapons. So if I sort this by used and go right the way down the bottom for the stuff that I have barely used, that brings us into the territory of things which I could have just not leveled up and I'd probably be fine. Not counting things that got me to the mastery I needed in the first place. Apparently some things are so unused, they're below the things I've never used. I don't know how that works. We are sorting by used right now, aren't we? I guess 0.0 just rounds down to 0 and the whole thing just breaks at that point. So let's just look at the 0.1s. Which, yeah, should start up at around here. Yeah, now we're getting into actual usage and it's sorted. So there's a whole bunch of bits and pieces in here that could just straight up be ignored. Everything from Morga, Larkspur Prime, a goddamn K-Drive, Coda Tysis has only 2 ranks on it. It counts as something that just doesn't need to be ranked up. Spectra Vandal, Imperator Vandal if you just don't want to deal with any of that lot. Things to that effect. There's plenty of things you can just skip. Total you can unlock from a hound and never actually run? Yeah, pretty much. You can just minimally use it and go, wow, that is crap. So yeah. If we think about each of these is 3,000, because we're mostly looking at weapons. There's going to be some things in here, like, I think that might count as 6,000, but by and large we're looking at 3,000s here. So let's just say, with the gaps because of things further down, this is where my fully mastered line comes in, roughly. Why is my Magnus rank 28? What did I do? Apparently not enough. Anyway, so this line here is the bottom of the extras, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 items across. We're looking for 200 excess items. That's going to be 25 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Granted, there's a few things in there that were Warframes and companions. Let's go down a couple rows. In terms of what I could have absolutely skipped out on, we're looking at all of this lot, all of these. For my least used items, could absolutely have been skipped and I'd still be MR30. All of this lot. And if any of these don't look that troublesome to you to farm, then further up things can be ignored as well. So when I say you don't need it, I really, 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 really mean it. Sepimon saying, but it's a lot of people's goals to get the highest mastery rank possible. It is one of the goals the game invites you towards. Yes, you don't get gameplay advantages from it, but it's also kind of easy to get a Warframe, a weapon that can face 99% of content of the game. You still want to get more frames, you want to play the game. Yes! Yes! And that final sentence completely invalidates the rest of what you've got to say as a rebuttal to the point I am making here. I am not saying that farming mastery is non-existent. I'm not saying that it's pointless. I'm not saying basically anything about it other than the word need doesn't exist for this. It doesn't. It doesn't exist for this. Because if you've got something horrible to farm, like the normal Sporothrix that you just don't want to do, the cost of not farming that is basically nil. The cost is basically nil. You have to commit yourself to getting everything for a completionism to matter. And I can tell you from a non-burnout standpoint, for farming and fighting for said completionism is a little bit ridiculous. If you don't enjoy that kind of gameplay loop, if you are the kind of person to go, oh, I don't want to do that grind, don't fucking do it. Because, as you very much said, Sabimond, you want to play the game. And it's not playing if you are trudging through it. That's a chore. That's work. Just do the bits you want to do. And don't worry that much about 3000 affinity. Really don't. It's not that big a deal. Savage just throwing in there, well, I mean beyond 17. Not even sure what you're referring to at that point. There's 6 minutes between messages. But sure. Unless you mean mastery is needed to access certain items. Which, yeah, sure. MR17 is a lot easier to get. I remind you, total mastery needed for MR17 is 722,500. 722,500. The total mastery needed to go from MR30 to MR, well, Legendary 5 is 737,500. That's the difference. The mastery needed to be able to access everything in the game, with the sole exception of former not resetting your items below level 30, and True Master's Font, taking frames into ESO without having to re-level them first, that kind of thing. Aside from a few quality of life benefits of MR30, you can get access to virtually everything by MR17, and that takes less mastery than MR30 to Legendary 5. Honestly, don't worry about it. That's what's incredible. Jesus Christ. What is the human compulsion to do this? What is the human compulsion to do this? It's like saying to someone, you don't need to speed, you can drive the speed limit, and someone goes, well, actually, I sped the other day, I went 32 miles an hour in a 30, and it meant I got to the traffic light slightly sooner, so I got through on green instead of red. It's like, Okay, cool. Yes, you found one instance of something that made it slightly better for you. Congratulations. Does this in any way invalidate what the hell I'm saying? Yes, the loadout slots exist. I don't know I'd call them incredible, to be quite honest with you. I don't remember the last time I actually used loadouts myself. If you look through my videos, I am always on default loadout. I'm pretty much always there. So, sure, loadouts exist. You like the loadouts for theming. Okay. Okay. Cool. I don't know what you want me to take from this. Am I going to turn around and go, right, everyone, get out there, farm the Sporothrix normal version right now, because someone likes loadouts for theming. Oh, come on. Are we having a conversation, or are you just referencing things that are tangentially related? This is why AI struggles. Meanie? No, you can take the /J off that. I am a meanie. This is why AI struggles. Because it's built on conversations like out of Reddit. And this is what it's like speaking to people on Reddit. Genuinely. Oh dear. And now everyone's saying it's fun to debate on the losing side, sorry. On the losing side, one gets desperate for talking points. Man, you're just setting me up at this point. Starting to wonder if someone has a set. No, let's not go there. There we go. 1 former applied, some number of former to go. 5 former total if I want to be able to swap the element on it. Let's once again use this to force in as close as we can get to a full build onto it. I'm going to delete that other Sporothrix now. It's starting to hurt me looking at it. How do I have 261 former? Because I got gifted a whole bunch. Twice. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. It was just warning me because I've not fully mastered it, but I've got this one here that I'm leveling, so yeah. Can't I at least recycle it into 5 live heart cells? Please? God damn it. Give me the slot back. Ah, that's painful. And before they had a recycle mechanic in the next hotfix, that would be just my luck, wouldn't it? That would be just my luck. Okie dokie then. So, once again, it's decided to not give me the top left mod. I don't know why it started doing that, but sure. There we are. Let's go level it again. Would I say Codas or Liches are better to farm? Friend is saying Liches, then they're nuts. Codas are faster. There is no doubt about that. No contest whatsoever. Codas are faster to farm. Better to farm? As in more engaging, more interesting? Now that is a question. That is a question. Alright. Give booster. Just for now. Whilst I'm at it. From Dudgeon City, do you happen to have a viable mod config? My Equinox doesn't get so easily destroyed in actual content. Still have used the worst moments. Equinox is a little bit behind the times in how she operates. I don't have an up-to-date build that I can offer you in terms of a full guide or anything, so no, sorry. She does take some more work to make work than other frames. She was buffed by the changes to limit enemy armor, So she no longer has to fight against that as much against the Grenier, but she is still Equinox. You have 6 more Cuba weapons farmed when you cannot be bothered. I refer to the entire discussion we just had. Literally. It's like how... Excuse me. It's like how if we go into our arsenal here, if I search for... Can I just search Progenitor? No, that's a shame. If I search Cuva, I have 0 level 40 Cuva primaries. 0. So I'm missing out on a whopping 200 mastery here, and 200, and 800, and 200, and... That's just another Sobek, so none. There's another 400, 600, 600, 600... 1,000 former left on the table. Former? I wish. 1,000 mastery left on the table there. 800. 900? No. Yeah? 900? I just haven't got to 32 on that one yet. And 800 there. Oh no! There's like 2 weapons worth in here. And then another update comes out with a whole prime set where you get the prime Warframe and 2 prime weapons, and that's 4 weapons worth in itself. 120 weapon levels, and you look at this and go, yeah, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it at that point. Adam Malik, thank you very much for subscribing to Tier 1 up until 42 months. That is quite a bit of support right there. Much appreciated, Adam Malik, and I hope you're doing well. I do hope you're doing well. Cheers for that. Alright, gotta know all the benefits here. We got the Affinity Blessing, got the Affinity Booster. Let's level up the Coda Sporothrix once again and see what the power level is at now of that extra mod added in. Just gonna keep doing the same, works for me. You see, little brain wants to win everything for no good reason? Okay. I'm just gonna leave that one there. I could get philosophical to the point of almost religious about that, but I'm just gonna leave that one there.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
I'm not going to act like I'm immune to the very same concepts, but I've dealt with them plenty. You know, I could probably just sit here on this tile. This is a very easy tile to set up choke points on. Pun included with gas. Oh no, Addy, no. We've been doing absolutely terrible in your absence. It's good thing you'll find me here, because the channel was about to fall apart. No, but for real. I'm glad you've been well. Hopefully interesting things have transpired for you. Gotta stay longer? Oh, absolutely. You know we need you here. I dare say some of the others may have been getting a little bit complacent about their leaderboard positions, if nothing else. I'd say, I wish you would make some things easier. For example, we should have a direct line for frames that are in dire need of rework, so not posting on the forums. And you know what, I'm just going to leave that one there for you, Dajum. I'm going to leave you with that very thought.
Life support capsule to the area.
I'm sure it's well considered.
Activating it will buy you more time.
Come on. Come on, enemies. Actually get to me. I can't kill them quickly if they don't actually get to me. What's going on here? It's like they're all just hanging out in a corner. Come threaten me. Can't kill you if you don't threaten me. Is gas actually good now? The downsides of gas are less important now. They haven't changed, they're just less important. And enemies have a capped 90% damage reduction from armor. which means that gas has less of an issue to chew through, or rather, its competitors are providing less of a benefit. This combined with general power creep, and you get gas doing gas things. As I think you were still definitely around when they made it where gas lingered after enemies died, but yeah. Also, Lavos recently got rebuffed to make it where he can once again buff the damage from gas procs with his Valence formation in a unique way that no other frame in the game can do. So by adding that in, we get even more damage, which is kind of stonking. Just look at him go. Haven't played since October last year. Fair enough. That's not like too long. We've only had an entire new era of the universe added to us, including the start and end of proto-frames. So, you know, let's not too long. That's what, a dozen new characters? It's fine. Oh, look at that tile. I don't actually want to go that way because that'll slow down the spawns, won't it? But then the kill rate's not been too great up here. I mean, that corridor should be a good one, but it's how long they take to get to that corridor will slow down the effectiveness. You thought you were finally done when you stopped at MR33? I mean, you're done. If you choose to be done. Again, with the philosophy. Where's the Jade? Where's the Jade? Where's the Jade? There are like 3 enemies in line of sight. Which one's the fucking Jade? Really? I swear they code the Jade Xmas to hide behind pillars. I swear it. The consistency with which a Jade will announce itself. I look for it and it's just not there. They must do. They must actively look for pillars the moment they cast. They are frustrating. The entire code is just called Be a Bish? Probably.
What you have learned here will serve you well.
Would I recommend sticking with magnetic or taking electric instead? Well, here's the thing, Darth Plagius. Here's the thing. When you fully former it, you can just switch anyway. I've done it again. I've left it 5 minutes rather than finish fucking leveling it. It's level 26. I could have gone for just another 2 minutes.
Gotta get back in the game of leaderboards.
Oh, God. Damn it, I stopped paying attention to my objective. Fuck the Jade Xmas. I'm blaming them for that. Did they change Ember so her 2 no longer drains energy? No. They didn't change Ember. Ember still does what Ember did. You may have misremembered.
Use all that you have learned.
Life support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Alright, let's see how quickly we get to level on this. At least, actually, I need to take it to level 32 because of the former. So it's not terrible to have left on I did, because we'll still probably be 5 minutes to get to 32. And this might be a better starting spot. Who knows? Honestly, Ember 2 not really useful now. Says who? That's a take right there. This thing that buffs up various effects of Ember's abilities and provides massive damage reduction. It's not that useful. There's the Overguard augment for a 3. Okay, sure.
Life support on the way.
Sure. I will defer to your judgment. I will refrain from calling it better. Let's just tear this place into a whole bunch of gas pockets.
I've delivered a life
Doing alright on the kill rate, which is good.
Activating it will buy you more time.
There we are, got a good couple kill boxes, they'll last for a few seconds. Got some lot coming through here. Hit them with the hard procs. That'll do all that corner for a bit. And let's scoop up all this life support. That was not as much life support as I expected to scoop. Where is the rest of it? Well done. Is it holding out on life support drops on me again because I didn't pick it all up so quickly? It does do that. If you don't regularly loot the area, you can just run out of drops. Despawn too quick. One downside of hard farming a location.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Don't worry, Lotus, we don't need the life support capsule. Been fine. Rank 32 is already achieved, so these next 2 minutes are just waiting for the mission to end. Oh well. Where's Jade this time? There he is, right in front of us. Nice and easy kill, that one. I didn't imagine there was anywhere they could hide in that particular area. Grab the life supports. Have enough life support to actually finish the mission, so I'm just going to see if I can find extraction, to be honest. Oh, I suppose I can kill the Acolyte. Set up some gas kill boxes and hope they just perish inside of them. Come on, Violence. Run towards me. That's it. Idiot. The idiot. Alright, the life support continues this way, so exit would possibly be this direction.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
Let's gander down this direction. Won't be this way, no. A little bit too loopy for it to be that way. This is the exit tile. And with a few seconds to spare, look at that, beautiful. Addy asking, would I recommend getting back into the game? Are there lots of changes to older systems, or need to revise all older builds? Would they still work adequately for Steel Path and such? Older builds should still work adequately. You've only been out since October. There's not been that much of a change to the game. It's been more of an expansion rather than an overhaul. So your old builds should still work by and large for anything you were using them on before. New things have come out. Specifically, we have now got the Tech Rot to deal with, we have now got the Scoldra to deal with, we now have Temporal Archimedia, which is basically Deep Archimedia, but more. Just more. Aside from that, though, it's not like the game has shifted too drastically against your builds. No, I wouldn't say so at all. And even with the new weapons, the Coda weapons, they don't invalidate the power level of your previous setups, not in the slightest. The biggest change, Eddie, is going to be the contents of this computer here. And suffice to say, there is an NPC chat system that can lead to dating. Not always, but can. So, yeah. There is something for you to explore if you wish. If you wish. From Auto Wonders, hope everyone's having a good evening. We are indeed. Got an exact leg left the other day, congrats. Thoughts on the H9 Apex fight? Found it a bit restrictive what loadout you can use to beat it. You pretty much summed up my thoughts on it, yes. You pretty much summed up my thoughts. It is a bit restrictive. It's a boss fight dialed up to 11 and designed to be as punishing as possible, which does limit what you can do to survive it. Yeah, it does limit it. There's not really much else to it on that, other than just limits do be limits. Okay, Sporo. Let's see then. With that capacity, we've still got not enough to fit everything on, so let's slap on another former. Babbity beep, babbity boop. There we go. And what was it that was being used on the original setup? It was Vital Sense, Primed Bane, all the other bits and pieces. Yeah, just Vital Sense that's missing here, isn't it? There we go. Specifically to be used with a, what do you call it? Final crit chance bonus from somewhere. Specifically for that. Yeah, this pretty much does the trick. Okay, so with this being build for build where it's at now, we can just straight up compare apparent and actual effectiveness. So if I kind of split the numbers, I'll cut out the fire rate, it's fine. Grab that there, because this is the core of what we care about. The AoE is cute, but this is the core of what we care about, these stats right here. So if I just grab good old snipping tool, just grab me a snip, and then swap out to the other one, I can bring it up for a side-by-side comparison. There we go. It's as close to a side-by-side as I'm going to get, I'll be quite honest. And I need this to be on the correct config, so it shows all the correct stats that I'm looking to compare. Alright then. And let's bring this up so you can see the side-by-side. Okay. So, off the bat, we've got a gas setup versus gas electric. The gas is hitting a much higher number, whereas the impact, puncture, slash are hitting basically no change in numbers, and that is because the gas is scaling with the progenitor bonus as well, which is added in there. It is a 60% bonus, so that means the gas should be 60% stronger. Where did I put my calculator? 1892.1 times 1.6 would come out to 3027. We got 3068. That teeny tiny extra bit more than 60% more is because they gave it a teeny tiny increase in its actual stats. It is almost pathetic how small of an increase it is, but it's an increase. Status chance before Crux kicks in, it goes from 84.8 to 88%. The crit chance, laughable as it is, goes from 1% to 5%, which means with Arcane Avenge we go from 46 to 50%. Reload is ever so slightly faster. Magazine is 2 higher, which is nice to have. But yeah, it mostly comes down to that 60% damage increase, which is what we're aware of. Is this supposed to be a completely spoiler-free zone? Nope, it's fine. Spoilers can absolutely be dropped here. Don't intentionally try to spoil people directly, but if someone's come to a live stream of an established creator like myself, it's not a new player run-through or something. They come to a live stream like this and expect it to be spoiler-free, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't at that point. So yeah, don't worry about it. You're free to talk about stuff. You're absolutely free to talk about stuff. So, in terms of the benefits then, there's almost nothing to talk about other than that 60% directly in terms of a positive, and I guess the little bonus of the magazine, but it's not like that big of a deal. The other changes really are the changes in modding, and then the changes that come about as a result of that Riven disposition, if indeed you have a Riven worth using for these slots. In terms of what Riven could go in here, because whilst I've currently got this minus recoil plus slash plus reload speed minus puncture, which, let's be real, that's a nice one. That is a pretty nice one. It's a pretty nice one for a build that has gone, which was the slash focused build. As we saw, that's just not able to keep up. The AoE effect, volatile variant, is making it bigger and with more status chance, which is cute when we already have all the status chance from here. So it's just more AoE, but for 10% of the damage? Yeah. I'm okay to say, like for the longest time, it's only theorized that the entire was reprogrammed by the Orakin to fight the sentience, but it got confirmed for sure by the computer behind Lloyd. Oh! Oh, I always thought that was just sentient bullshit, I'll be quite honest with you. I never actually looked into the details on Lloyd's computer. There we are then. Lloyd actually fully confirms it? I'm not looking for that detail. Sporothrix can wait. It's boring me. Hold on. Sanctum Anatomica. So we get the Renos of that. As a recap of the quest in Sanctum? Yeah. I want to see how it's phrased and the veracity of it. Alright then, so reawakened, Tenno is being guided by Lotus. Lotus is known to be a former sentient previously named Natar. She was captured and converted to her current state during the Old War by Executive Alice, a high-ranking Orokin. Alice is theorized to have modeled the appearance and persona of the Lotus by its deceased lover Margulis. Archimedean scientist executed for her devotion to Tenno. Lotus appeared to be just as devoted to Tenno as Margulis was. She did not, however, divulge the secret of her sentient origin to them, continuing to monitor. And then later on, it was revealed to us, yeah. Interesting. Interesting, okay. So the file itself is out of date. It's referring to a suitable Tenno. It's referring to the Lotus being converted, but not actually letting us know what the situation is, and we know the situation far more thoroughly now than this. So this is an older note in the way that it's written. It speaks exceptionally factually, matter of fact, about, yeah, the Lotus is known to be former sentient, was captured and converted by Ballas. There's no question in the way it's written. But then theorized to have been modelled on this. Appears to be as devoted. Curious. But yeah, that does show straight up reprogrammed. If that's to be believed as accurate as well, then. I'm going to say theorized is Albrecht and Trati's computer is extrapolating. The computer is? Not sure I'm following. Forgive me for being Mr. Literal, but yeah. We are looking at literal meaning to identify what's going on here. Is now known to have colluded with Han Hao, known to have survived, collapse of Orokin, has now manipulated Lotus for his own ends, compelling her to resume her sentient identity. We know about the manipulation there, yes. Okay. I'm saying, in a different file, it says this device serves Albrecht Intrati. In what? That, I presume? Or just... I'll take your word that it's somewhere in there. But... saying that it serves Albrecht Intrati? Which Mars computer is like an AI that's doing Albrecht's research? Are you certain that's not being done by Necroloid or something else? You know what? I'm questioning things where I have half the information, so whatever. I don't even have half. Taylor's discovered the truth of their identity, their human child, blah blah blah. Continuing to monitor. I mean, if it's not Lloyd or Necroloid or something like that, then what is monitoring it? Also, I think it was a Carvey that wrote these logs. Yeah, Lloyd was sleeping, so it couldn't have been Lloyd. I don't know how the Carvier would write the logs. Functionally. Or if they're even capable of doing anything, because surely wouldn't they have also been in...
These Carviers seem like jewelry fellows. Well, most of them.
They should have been in some kind of cryo sleep as well, right? Okay, so it says it is Albrecht Intrati that this device serves. A device saying that it serves a person can just as easily mean it is the property of and is used for such and such. Or is party to the assistance given to Albrecht Intrati. Nothing to say that it's a person in itself.
One must make the best of things.
I can't really give that any weight to say it's an AI. There's a lack of other information to suggest that there is a AI entity represented as this computer, which is the one doing the watching. The laboratories are sealed. Our task, plural, watch for the chosen operator. Yeah, that's either Carvier or Necroloid. And Necroloid is just unaware. No, Necroloid was aware. Up to the Kalimos sequence, Necroloid was unaware of Kalimos sequence being a thing itself. A precept. But all the rest of this could absolutely be Necroloid's doing. No, computer addressing Necroloid in third person? It does? Okay. Fair enough. Where is that? Here we go, yep. The Tenno has encountered the Intrati family on Deimos. The family remains unaware of the existence of these labs. The Necroloid is an exception. Its memory is, however, suppressed until the activation of the Kalimos sequence. Okay. Then yeah, the only entities that would make sense would have to be the Carvier. But they were also in stasis, so... Hold on, yeah, that does leave a hole, doesn't it? Oh, I don't want that. Go away. I tried to close that. Steal my mouse. Stupid thing. Alright. So, Necroloid is addressed third person. Entrati can't be it. Carver in stasis. Lloyd was in stasis. Necroloid is unaware. Our task, watch for the chosen operator. Who is our? Contacting the Necroloid, activating the Clean sequence. Yep, nope. I can see the point. Okay, yeah. There is no in-law solution for who is writing these other than a new entity. There is no in-law answer otherwise. No one is around to write it. No Carvia, no Lloyd, no Necroloid. Unless Necroloid is somehow suppressing their own knowledge of writing it, which would seem a little bit odd, I'll be quite honest. Not impossible, just seems odd. So, no entity we're aware of otherwise could reasonably be the ones writing this over such a timescale, which does just leave it as an AI, yeah. Crazy theory, what if 1999 networks shared by all these computers like really bare bones Cephalon that can run on 99 era electronics? Could be. One final possibility. This is connected to 1999, and these are logs written by Albrecht himself. Can this work from the perspective of Albrecht getting the information from his little cave of observation? So this is Albrecht the entire time. Is that possible? The laboratories are sealed. Our task was for children operate. Blah blah blah. Albert Entrati saying it is Albert Entrati whom this device serves. Would not fit him. Okay, if you say so, fair enough. Where does it say this device serves? Where does it say that? You pointed out that I saw it a moment ago, so it is Albert Entrati. So, supplementary information. Much of the Oricon society was dependent on the void. It was used as a shortcut through space, and a source of energy. Its full potential was first theorized by Albert Entrati within these very labs. It is Albert Entrati whom this device serves. It's Albert Entrati who has instructed us to locate the chosen operator. Well, that takes out it being Entrati then. Unless Entrati lies. Entrati does lie, so yeah. Yeah, this makes it very likely that Albrecht is writing any of this himself, yeah. Flint saying, can I request a video? It's unusual. You can make the request. I can't guarantee we'll fulfill it. What's the request? It seems unlike with the way this is written. This is Entrati. I doubt we have Entrati having another assistant, even in 1999, who is making these logs somehow. So yeah. It is another entity that is writing these logs. An unnamed entity by the looks of it. Whether AI or biological is unclear, but it's another entity. It's just another entity. Curious. I was unaware of that there. I was unaware of the nature of that. If the Carvia were awake the entire time, or could periodically wake up, then it would make sense. Then it would make sense, but from my understanding, they didn't, so that's weird. There's a hole there. What about a Murmur that's been brainwashed and did the writing for one of repair drones? Repair drones are repair drones. There's no reason a repair drone would be capable of writing such logs, and if it were, then it's no longer simply a repair drone, it is now a new entity. At that point, we've just come full circle back to the point of a new entity. With it being a Murmur that has been brainwashed, I don't see anything in that would suggest it is a Murmur working for the labs. There's nothing to indicate that's the case. So whilst it could be, it also could be a clone of Balos, a clone of Balos that Albrecht made in a test tube and then sat inside of the computer, and there's not actually any computer guts in there. It is just MIDI Balos typing away. Now, I'll give that even less likely, but there's nothing to indicate that there is somehow a singular Murmur going around that we have control of. That is also tracking for that long. There's just nothing to suggest it. What about the dead pet? What do you call it? Whatever tagged for is, whatever species. The other one with tagged for? That ain't it. Yeah. From Flynn, can you make a video talking about how long it would take a person to get 5 Talforge shards on each of their frames? Obviously a bit difficult because everyone will want to use different shards, but if you assume like 2 yellow, 3 red on each frame, in theory, how long do we reckon it would take? Ooh, okay, so Flynn, that's actually a slightly more complicated question than you might realise. That is a slightly more complicated question you might realise. Because, for starters, you say, what if we assume 2 yellow, 3 red on each frame? Well, that doesn't even cover any of the combined shards. It doesn't cover how some frames do actually benefit from blue shards. And then the next thing to consider is, well, for how long it may take additional frames come out, which then actually pushes the envelope further back, you got a little bit of a recurring cascade to take into account there. And you're saying Talforged, so there's also throwing in the combination of shards, because you can turn multiple normal ones into Talforged ones through some slightly expensive process, to be quite honest. Like, yay, do it through that. That is a complicated one. If it's the reason I want some math done is because I think D owes us a few more search pulses. Ooh, okay. Ooh, how do we frame that one? That's very on the completionist, I deserve everything mentality. And I'm not sure how I resonate with that. I'm not sure how I resonate with that perspective. Considering that these shards can be taken off and put onto other frames as needed, considering that the majority of people don't ultra max everything, is it owed? Is it something that's owed to you? What sources are there of shards at the moment? I'll be honest, I've lost a little bit of track of it. We've got the one you can get every week from the Archon hunts. There is one that you can get from Bird 3, but it's always standard, not Talforged. You've got the shards that you can get from Deep Archimedia, shards you can get from Elite, from Temporal Archimedia, Obviously, both have their elite variants, which is where you get the most. Would it be harmful if we got more search pulses, I think? I think it might be. Honestly, I think it might be. For a different reason. And that is because of the nature of FOMO and the nature of so many people who have already expressed it today in this chat. People's inability to stop doing something they don't like to do. This might sound a bit weird, but I'm sure you can understand where I'm coming from here. In that the same completionism that drives people to farm the Sporothrix when they literally don't want to. Given the extra pulses, that can run into problems for people feeling compelled to have so many weeklies to attend to, lest they miss out on this power. It reaches a limit where it's almost too much to limit one on. It's a weird one. Because yeah, you can get... That was a weird animation. You can get a Tower Forge there. You can get a Tower Forge there. You can get a Tower Forge there. You can get a Tower Forge here and here. So up to 5 can come from this. You're not likely to get 5, but up to 5 can come from this. I have to say, let's say 2 more, so we can do EDA, ETA, and 3 Netracells. Why not 1 more? Why not 3 more? Why that number? Why specifically 2 more? And don't say, well, it seems fair. No. Why? Why not 1 less? Kylo Ren's very correct. Why not 1 less? Why not make it a decision? You now have to choose. Do you want to do the Archimedia or do you want to do the Netracells? You can't have both anymore. Why not? Absolutely, why not? They gave us 5 pulses. They could have given us 4 pulses originally. Why not? Okay, I'm looking at these just as a indication as to how many are available at the moment. I know they're not replayable. I'm not that dumb. Come on now. I didn't want to just bring up the drop tables and immediately start actually counting this all out. Elliot says 7 pulses would annoy some people for not being a nice number, like an even or a multiple of 5. Okay, and then you just get people like Ellie. Also, Ellie, 7 pulses would be a perfectly cromulent number because there are 7 days in a week and it's a weekly reset, so that's giving you 1 pulse a day. They could even have it regenerate 1 pulse a day or something stupid like that. They wouldn't do that, that'd be even dumber. If you really want to go with it's not even or multiple of 5 or some nice number, weeks are 7 days. There were 7 executors of the Orican High Council, or whatever they called themselves. That made it slightly nicer? Yeah, it's all about perspective. 7 is not a nice number, and apparently you're not a nice person. You numberist, how dare you? We don't take kindly to numberists around here. How dare you be so numberist? Are there any other numbers that you feel like we should just kick out? Anything more you want to exclude, Zellion? Honestly, what an absolute person. Assuming you're even a person at this point. When monthly reset? I mean, we've gone past monthly reset, if you think about it. We've practically got seasonal reset with the rotations on the circuit. Yeah. I would say the reason I throw out 2 extra because the loop of EDA into 3 Netracells is what you were used to prior to Elite Temple Archimedia. So you got given a new option, and now you don't want it to be an option. You want your cake and eat it. I get where you're coming from, Iflin. I approach this from a very neutral, don't rock the boat perspective very often, because I'm not going to presume that I know what numbers they have inside of DE, what data they have access to in terms of what people engage with, what kind of metrics they intend for players to have access to. I don't know that. I can't know that. They're not going to share that information with me. I've asked for very surface level information of a kind before now, and I've been simply told no. So I can't know that kind of information. So I take a very neutral approach to it of, we get what we get. Rather than trying to imagine the infinite variety of what we could have if the world were different, I usually focus on just the what is. And sure, I could look at what is at the moment in terms of how long would it take you to get X amount of shards, X amount of Talforge shards. I did a video on the original release of the Netra cells, was it yeah, I think it was Netra cells, on how long it would take you to get maxed out copies of the Legendary Arcanes, and at that time, there was a significant chance it would take 2 years for an individual to max it out without trading. Kind of bonkers. Kind of bonkers. But I only do that to kind of show where are we at, and does it represent a problem? Does it represent an actual tangible, this is detrimental to the idea of good rewards problem? And when it comes to collecting Talforged shards, or just shards in general, to be honest, I've not done Elite Archimedia, either type, for weeks now. I've not done it for weeks. I've still got shards lying around. I've got Talforged in places that probably don't make sense. I've got 5 Talforged shards sat in my Frost. When was the last time I played a mission with Frost on this livestream? Can anyone remember when I last played Frost on this livestream? Not just showed him in the arsenal, actually genuinely did a mission with him. You're playing catch-up, you don't have as many as me? Fair enough, yeah. And catch-up is an unfortunate level of catch-up. That is kind of a downside with limited farming items, which is supposed to trade off against people ultra-farming and then burning out of the content. What about the UETA arcanes? I haven't looked into them. There's been so much that came out, I've been digging my way through it bit by bit. So yeah. Haven't looked into them in that way yet. 99 calendar auto-grant shards, they're so common now. Define common. Eiflin's not happy with them. That much is obvious. Eiflin does not feel they are sufficiently common, and is asking for extra search pulses. Caroline suggests need search pulses to stack up, so after 10 weeks got 50. Okay, and what about the people who complete the quest today? There's no solution that's going to end up being perfectly fair, depending on your measure of fair in that regard. And typically for that kind of thing, the biggest balancing factor then tends to be make them tradable. But that's its own whole kettle of fish. That is a Pandora's box of Archon Shard fish right there, to mix up 3 different metaphors at once. But let's think about this. Just Eiflin, how many frames do you use when you're just having fun? Not when you're looking to make content, not when you're looking to make builds. When you are there to go play the game for yourself, for the gameplay. How many different frames do you really use? If it said log in once a week, do a weeklies, I can come off the game unsatisfied because there's a pretty high chance now I don't get what I want and there's very little pity. When you're having fun is a different story? Is it? Is it? You come off the game unsatisfied because there's not a pity system on the things you're trying to obtain. And to an element, I absolutely understand that. To an element, I really do understand that. With the Archon Hunts originally, when they came out with just a flat 20% chance of a Talforge, I called out the imbalance that would accrue over time just because of the sheer statistical variance on it. That you get some people piling up shards, and you get some people with just no Talforge shards. And there was no way around that. We've had such a wealth of shards added to the game since then. Remember, when Archon Hunts came out, And I think, did the shards with those come out at the same time as the Veilbreaker shard? I'm not sure they did. Even if they did, at the point that we had the Archon Hunt and Veilbreaker shard, there was 2 Archon shards a week, with one of them potentially Tower Forged. Look at where we are at now in comparison to that. At that time, you'd get 2 shards. Archon Hunts were Veilbreaker, were they not? If they came out with that update, maybe. I can't remember the exact process of how things came out. There was a whole thing with it. The point is, 2 shards a week, back then, that'd be 104 shards per year. Yeah, 104 shards per year. Which means, over the course of a year, at 5 shards per frame, not even counting the whole Tower Forge business, you would be able to slot up 20.8 frames per year. 20.8, and that's assuming you got exactly the shard distribution you wanted. The number of people who are receiving Tower Forged Blues but not other Tower Forged, and we're going, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever, because they didn't get the thing they were looking for, just like yourself. And all of that needs to just simply be ratified with, what is DE's goal then? What do DE want people to have access to? This is a level of mental math you're not capable of? Which bit? What? Multiplying 52 by 2 or dividing it then by 5? Oh yeah. Now we have access to a lot more shards. You get the guaranteed one from the Archon Hunt, if you want to spend the time doing that. I don't remember the last Archon Hunt I did. You've got the guaranteed one from Bird 3 because it got moved away from the Carl missions, and thank goodness for that. You can occasionally get shards from the calendar, which has a new season every week, and you get a whole bunch of options you can pick through each season. So, there's a gift, no shard. There's a gift, 1 shard. It's a combined shard, no less. There's a gift, no shard. 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 So, there was 1 shard in this season for me. But that's another 1 shard. And yes, some people do like the Carl missions, just not very many people. It is objectively not very many people, which is why they got completely ripped out of the reward cycle. I'll be quite honest. If we then look at the Archimedia, I'm fully invested in looking into this now, so fuck it, let's do this. Deep Archimedia, rewards. Okay, so if you do the Elite Deep Archimedia, you have... I'm just going to look at the total shard count for a moment. No, actually, no. I'm going to count this up in Tower Forged. You wanted Tower Forged, so let's count it in Tower Forged. When it comes to normal shards, quite frankly, there's plenty. So let's count this up in Tower Forged. And because 3 normals can become 1 Tau, I'll just divide their reward by 3 to count it as 1/3 of a Tower Forged shard. Let's do it that way. So we've got the Archon Hunt. I forget the exact drop amount of the shards. I think it comes out to a Tower Forged roughly every 3 attempts. Roughly. I forget the exact numbers. I'd have to look it up because I did literally do a video on it. But let's say 1 in 3 of the ones you get from Archon Hunts comes out Tower Forged. For an easy number. And so the other 2 are non-Tower Forged. That gives you 1.6 recurring Tower Forged from Archon Hunts over the course of 3 weeks. So per week, you're looking at 0.55. Is that right? There we go. 5 over 3. Over 3. Yeah. 0.55, all that numbery stuff. 5/9 per week. Add on then the 3/9 per week. Yeah, from the from Bird 3. So we got 5 plus 3. We've got from Elite Deep Archimedia, 2 shots at reward pool A, 2 shots at reward pool B, 1 shot at reward pool C, of which we have 0.0417%. No, 0.0417, which is 4.17%, 3 times over of a shard of a Tau Forged. And 17.5%, 3 times over of a normal shard. And that happens twice because, I'm not going to do this on a calculator. I'm going to need a fucking spreadsheet for this. Flyton, what have you done to me? I've been math baited. And you've got to be very careful on how you pronounce that. That's how Limbo exploded? Yep. How dare. Alright, sod it, we're doing this properly. We're doing this properly, and to do this properly, we're going to need a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet's going to be bright, so those of you who live in a very dark room, suffer. Let me get a spreadsheet going. Flynn just had to ask. Couldn't be satisfied having the shards they have. Nope, Flynn needed more. Alright then. Ken is Proto Limbo confirmed. Honestly, if D reached out to me and were like, hey, we'd like you to voice Proto Limbo, and here is a reasonable rate for it, sure, why not? I don't know if anyone would actually complain if Proto Limbo was added and it was me. Would anyone complain? Also, Flynn, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs out to community. That's gone out to DW Clock, to Defayu, to High on Warframe. Hey, well, that suits the channel, doesn't it? To Momina, and to Typer010205. Flynn, cheers for that. Much appreciated. Depends how good my voice is. Oh shit, yeah, no one actually knows what I sound like, do they? Damn. You complain because it's not Lavos? Okay. Valid point, but I feel like maybe Lavos should be voiced by someone else. Hi Flynn, thank you very much for gifting a sub as well over to Slow Boating. Much appreciated on that there. And that does bring us up to the goal of subs for the month as well. Well, would you look at that? And put you onto the leaderboard. Okay, you can have your spreadsheet. You can have your details. Alright. You can have them. Okay? So those of you who don't like bright screens all of a sudden, very sorry, but we're about to have a bright screen because I don't think spreadsheet has... Does it have a dark mode? I've never looked into it. I'll be quite honest. I've never looked to see if it has a dark mode. And I don't mean just colouring the cells in. Hold on one sec. Google Sheets dark mode. Does not have an official dark mode setting. Well, y'all are going to suffer. Cool. I'll just turn all the cells black and turn all the font white, and then I'll have to do good enough. That reduces the amount of light on the screen. It's the best I can do for you. Alright. There's an add-on for Chrome to make sheets dark. Yeah, I'm not installing an add-on right now. I'm not the one who suffers from light mode. I have eyes that work. It's people on their phones, sideways, in bed, this far into their face, going, it's suddenly bright in my dark bedroom. Nope. Get good. And if it is really late at night and you're in bed and trying to sleep, you're not going to sleep with me in your ears. Actually, no, that's a lie. Some people do. Anyway, point is, where can Flynn get shards to stop being sad about being poor? That is the aim of this sheet. There we go. Okay. Weekly options. We have Archon Hunt. Normals. Towels. It's only going to be one a week, but there is a split between it. Bird 3. Always a normal, always no towels. 1999 calendar. Varies, so we'll get around to that. There is Elite Deep Archimedia, Elite Temporal Archimedia. Is there anywhere else of significance? I'm not going to count Twitch drops. Anywhere else of significance where these will come from? Let's have a quick look here. Can be bought from Bird 3. Netrocell. I forgot the Netrocell itself. I care about Netrocells so little. But I think that is the majority, if not entirety, of it. Yeah, sorry. It's iFlynn, my bad. Okay, that's just petty. Let's not do that. That's just petty. Alright then. Let's break this all down. From my sheets, I should have the sheet for the Archon sources. So if I go Tau Forge... Oh, I've got one for Netrocells as well. Oh, thank you, past me. Okay. Scenarios. Correct scenario. Here we go. Doing all the hunts. Let's see here. Out of a 51-week process, you get an average of 6.56 Tau Forge shards of each variety. So, according to me, 51 Archon hunts grants 6.56 Taus of each color on average. This comes out to 6.56 times 3, 19.68 per 51, divided by 51, 0.3859 towels per week. And then we'll minus that. And 0.6141 normals per week. There we go. Already off to a good start. Carl still a thing? No. You did not want the eye either? Oh, there we are then. There we are. iFlynn has no eye now. Where can Blind Flynn get the shards? So the Archon Hunt will give us 0.6141 normals and Taus 0.3859 per week. There we go. Very good stuff. The 1999 calendar. Has anyone been keeping track as to rewards? Are they shared between people? Each in-game month has 2 prizes to select per month, awarding 6 prizes per season, a random selection between 2 items. Oh wow, okay, that is a lot of items. Do we have a drop table for this? I'm betting we don't have a drop table for this. They are sure that... Okay. Everyone's got the same stuff, that's good. If everyone's got the same pages, let's see. If I go to the Warframe PC drops, because I have that bookmarked. And if I search for calendar... Nope. If I search 1999. Nope, that's giving me the bounties. That's not what I'm looking for. If I search for Tau Forged... Let's see, it's giving me Netrocells. Netrocell. Deep Archimedia Silver, Gold, Arcane, Temporal. Oh, Temporal's going to mix it in with bloody combined shards as well. That's going to make my life easier, isn't it? Not. Alright then, so the calendar doesn't seem to have that information. Doesn't seem to have the information on this. Let's Have we ever seen a Tau Forge shard in the 1999 calendar? Have we ever seen one in there? I don't think we have. For sure doesn't have Tau Forged, yeah. So if we say 0 on the Tau Forged, 1 normal, and if you get a combined normal, you get a combined normal. If it gives a second, it gives a second. It's not going to make that big of a difference. The occasional extra. So let's narrow it down on that. So put it here. Calendar assumption. Going with 1 normal, ignoring the possibility of more or less, and ignoring the possibility of combined. We're just going to go with normals and treat it as a single one and move on from there, because it's just easier that way. Don't be saying, oh, I think it's actually 1.5 per week. No, I'm ignoring you now. Alright then, let's have a look at the rest of this. So I have the Netracell math. Cell math, is it? Oh, I have to go back to drive, that's fine, I know where to go. Netracell's math. Oh, but I have an updated one. New Netracell's math as of Dancy Unbound. Thank you, Pass for me, for labeling these correctly. Okay, let's. Oh god, that's the arcanes. No, I didn't want the. Here we go. Archon shards. Counted on some amount of runs. Ooh, blah 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 blah. Okay, sweet. Here we go. I found my summary table. So, 50% average, going bang in the middle for luck, because some people will get unlucky. Bang in the middle for luck of each shard per year. Doing a full thing of Netracells would give you 45 per year. But that's 260 runs. We're now only doing a fifth of that because the other pulses are being used for EDA and ETA. So that would be 9 of each normal, or 27 normals per year, which divided by 52 weeks comes out to 0.5192 normals per week. And then the 50% look for the towels, I've got it listed as 11 of each towel per year if you do all 260 runs. So again, we divide that by 5. 11 by 5 is 2.2 of each, times the 3 for the types is 6.6 total. Divide by the 52 weeks in a year gives us 0.1269. I'm going to keep going to the 4 decimal places and things like that. So this is Netracells drawn from established simulation data by me, assuming 1 Netracell per week. Okay. You know what, Ellie? I might just set up the bot to delete any message that ever includes a kappa again. And that includes you. How bloody dare. Right then. Banned term, kappa. What about the mission on Sedna? Doesn't exist. I mean, Jellyfish, you specifically asked me to delete that message. Alright then, on to EDA. For that, I can just have a look at the Warframe drop tables. I can just multiply it out. I'm just going to straight up multiply on that. So, let's have a look here. Where did I leave the EDA drop table information? Deep Archimedia, there it is. Okay. So, for Elite Deep Archimedia, we have, each week, equals 2 chances of 0.175 per shard, 3 shards, plus 2 chances of 0.1313 times 3 shards. And then on the towels, that is equal to 2 chances of 0.0417 times 3 shards, plus again 2 chances times 0.0854 times 3 shards, and then again plus 1 shot of 0.1667 times 3 shards. Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. Each week from EDA, you get an average of 1.8 normal shards and 1.26, or whatever, you see the decimal places there, of Talforge shards. That's how it comes out. That's assuming you go all the way through. If you're a scrub and don't go all the way through, then you're a scrub. You chose to get less. Not my concern, and surely not the concern of someone who's doing the math on this. If you're going for this many shards, do it. Just do it. Okay, with Temporal Archimedia, they have different drop tables. Let's head on down. So once again, they do have 2 pool A's, 2 pool B's, and 1 pool C. So that at least narrows it down. Pix chips can't be used for Archon shards, can they? Excuse me. Doesn't look like they can. Good, no. Alright. This is about how we stop Iphone from being poor anyway. Ironic considering the subs Flynn's gifted here anyway. So let's have a look then. We've got on Rotation A or Stage A, Uncommon Raw Pool, Silver Pool, whatever you want to call it. On the first bit, we have 2 shots again at 0.1533 times 3 shard types. No combined shards at that stage. At the next stage, we have 2 chances at 0.0745 times 3 normal shards, plus we have 2 chances at 0.0559 of 3 combined shards. I'm going to treat the combined shards as again 1 shard, because you may not actually want to have that many combined shards. It's just a thing that can roll out. So I'm only going to treat it as 1. If you want to treat it differently, make your own spreadsheet. Or copy this one when I make it available to people. And that is all of the normal shards that appear there. Have I done that correctly? Because that is saying a lot more shards than this one. Have I typed that all correctly? So we got 45% roughly twice over, so that'll be about 0.9 shards straight up there. But then on the next stage, we've got 3 lots of 0.0745 and 3 lots of 0.59. No, that doesn't... Oh. Just that bit. Wait, hang on. 2? There it is. I missed a tiny little detail in there. That. Tiny detail. I knew that number was completely wrong, but there we go. That is much more balanced. Ah. Yeah, I've got it, Squirbo. Thank you. But yes, I've also got it now. Okay, and then over to here for the Talforge. So we have, on the first bit, 2 chances at 0.3... ooh, no, not 0.3. 0.365. And 3 different shards that can give you that. On B, we've got 2 chances at 0.484 times 3, plus again 2 chances times 0.0364 times 3. And then finally, on the C, we have 0.0911 times 3 plus 0.0683 times 3. And just verify this again. There's 2 lots of that, 2 lots of this, 2 lots of that. Yup. It's 2 of these, 2 of those, 2 of these. One of those, one of those. Yeah, that all adds up. Are we missing any sources of shards at this point? EDA and ETA using exact drop table information with simple multiplier. ETA treating combined shards as a single shard. Twitch drops. I'm going to be a good person and not swear at you. But I want to. I think this is going to give us enough of a summary for Flynn. So, Flynn can farm, because Flynn can't get Twitch drops, because Flynn will be streaming and Twitch just breaks, so let's assume that Flynn can't get Twitch drops. I don't like that's going over, and I don't want to resize the column. And then if you only want to get this in towels, if combining all normals into towels, that gives equals this plus that over 3. You can, on average, get a whole frame's worth of towel forged every single week. 5.20593333 blah, 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 blah. No guarantee on the types. You will get a mix of types. You will have a medley of things, but if you're only putting 3 crimsons and 2 yellows into every single frame, then you're not actually optimizing, and your whole point is moot. Then we need to divide it for the type, right? This is giving you a mix of types. This is giving you a total of 5.2 towels per week on average. Assuming you convert all normals into towels the first moment you can or whatever. It's just looking at the averages. That gives you a general ballpark, because some people are going to like more blues, some people are going to like more yellows, some people are going to like more reds, some people are just going to get unlucky on the types they get. Other people are going to get perfectly lucky. And part of that is why we're treating combined shards as 1 shard, when technically they're 2 shards if you want to have those types of shards. So the whole min-max ultra optimization becomes too complicated for it to be a worthwhile mathematical consideration. The variables are so vast as to destroy the usefulness of the information we can provide at that point. This gives us an objective number of the towels you can get regarding combined shards that are automatically received as 1 shard, and not considering beyond that non-combined shards that you might wish to combine are less than 1 shard in comparison. If we skip those little details, treat all shards as just shards, that's the number you get. And it's as fair as a number I can give you. This is looking a little bit small, so let's just make it a bit bigger. Bop, 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 bop. There we are. That's your math. Alright. I guess I'll make this available then. It's basically 1 frame's worth per week, and if you're pretty lucky you'll get the types you need. Yep. If you are overly picky, then you won't. Granted, if you get things like topaz shards out the wazoo, you're going to be upset. Shkar saying, divide by 2 if you want the 3 new shards in Tau. It wouldn't be strictly divide by 2, no. But it would be less. I would say divide by 2 is still a reasonable estimate because of the number of shards you may end up with that you just don't have a use for long term. Or just the time it's going to take to get to the shards you want. Because you could get 5 towels worth per week over the next 4 weeks, 20 towel forged shards. But if you just have no use whatsoever for blue shards, for purple shards, then they're just going to be useless. Actually, who has no use whatsoever for purple shards? You can use purple shards. And to be honest, you can use blues. I think if you're skipping out on at least basic shards, you're missing out. Because the basic shards can be used all over the place. Sure, it might not be theoretical min-max, but then taking the time to even ask about this is also missing out on theoretical min-max, because you could just play the game. Every single time you miss out on anything ever is missing out. So at that point, the whole thing falls apart. But yeah, green shards, they have their place for those corrosive bonuses. For max stack of corrosive, there are frames that can absolutely benefit from that, and it's just nice to use in places. Toxic says affects deal more damage. There are going to be places, specific builds this can work, so sure, why not? The other two don't matter anywhere near as much. For Topaz shards, gain health per enemy cool blast, blech. Regenerate shields, increase secondary crit chance every time you kill enemy affected by max heat status, however, sorry, affected by heat status. That's going to apply. Ability damage on enemies affected by radiation. Not as much, but can apply. So Topaz have their place. And the game's not going to give you loads of those that you don't want. There are not many places you can get Topaz shards to push you over the threshold of having too many. And Violet Arcade shards, there are plenty of use cases for those. Absolutely plenty. So yeah, I would say the shard distribution long term doesn't actually matter, and the very description of your concern, Flynn, is a long term one to actually get to completion. So I'd say across that kind of perspective, the numbers don't really matter. Can I show you my reds? No. I don't even know where I have some of my shards because there's no easy way to quickly check up on it. It's not like I can bring up a tabulated list of where they're all at. They're just there. So if I sort by Archon shards, I've got obviously my Lavos ones with a couple reds in. I've got Atlas here. Okay, yep. So this might be the worst next frame I could have shown you, given what you're asking for. Sorry, did you say you wanted red Tau Forge shards, Flynn? Is that what you're hoping for? How's Banshee doing? Ah, nothing Tau Forged over there. Oops, didn't mean to click that. My bad. Get out of that, thank you. Oh look, some more red shards. When was the last time I played to Gath? Dante! 5 Tau Forged. I mean, wizard type. I had to. Frosticle. Yep, there's another 2 Tau Reds. Just 5 Tau Forged total. What about Ingara? A couple Tau Forged, 3 Reds total. What have I got in Jaya? Oh, God blimey. Even more over there. Inaros. Why has Inaros got 5 shards? 3 of which are strength. Sure, as you can. Get it up to that full 7 cubed. Why don't we? Kome? Kome has 5 Tau Forged? What am I doing with this? Oh, my other Lavos still had shards in. Oops, I should probably remove those at some point. I should probably fix that, but not today. Loki. Well, as you do. Man has 2 Lavos? I have 3 Lavos. No, I think I have 4 Lavos. Let's see here. Yep, that's a fully Tau Mesa. There's a few shards going around. That's a... My Necros is cosplaying as Jaya. I don't know why my Necros is cosplaying as Jaya, but my Necros is cosplaying as Jaya. That is a lot of electric right there. Y'all really want me to bring out Uraeli, don't you? Y'all really want me to bring out Uraeli. Well, my proper Uraeli has Christmas shards. Look at that, it's so festive, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And there is absolutely nothing anyone should worry about in the other Uraeli, so we're fine. Yeah, I think that's all Flynn cares about when it comes to Urali. You know?
Urali FTW.
Urali, fuck the Warframe? It depends on who you're speaking to. That might be the wrong implications right there. I know it's sensitive for the win. Addy, cheers for 100 bits. Oh, Flint's the one who gifted the 6 subs for the math. So I'll pose it to Flint. Do you really want to know what is behind Urali number 2? I say you don't. If you already know, then the pain's already been done. Although you might not know. But it's up to you. Do you really want to know? You do. Okay, well. I'm not going to labour the point any further. This is a 9-former Urali. It is not finished because the mechanics have been updated. I would like you to observe the umbral polarities that are there, and there, and there. There is currently an omnipolarity here, which was an aura former. This moved up. I don't know when this became possible, because we did try in October. We did try to put an umbral former on this slot and couldn't. But since then, DE made some kind of change, and now I have an umbral fucking aura polarity. You see nothing wrong here? Man, your vision really is as bad as you said. This is misery. And I don't mean as a goddamn acolyte. Why does they even allow more than 3 umbrals on a Warframe? I have no idea why they allow it. I have no idea why that. Oh, this is the worst time to raid it. Are you kidding me?
Umbrella.
Liam, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome on in to the stream here, full of absolutely cursed opportunities. Oh dear, oh dear. Welcome on in. This is a build called Twitch's Fault. This is a build called Twitch's Fault. Because I at no point had any hand in making this happen. This happened over the course of 2 different quests to conquer cancer. Gotta get me back for the last raid? Yeah, that makes sense. This happened over the course of 2 different quests to conquer cancer. Thanks to the updates to the game. I don't even technically have to take off any mods to show you this. You can see the incorrect polarities. You can see the Augur Message is on an Umbral Former. And the Augur Reach is on an Umbral Former. And that Merlina Guardian is on an Umbral Former. Despite the Umbral Intensify, Vitality and Fiber are on Umbral Formers. And that the Exodus polarity is an Umbral Former. And the Aura polarity is an Umbral Former. And there is a distinct possibility. There is a distinct possibility that come next October, this Urali may finally reach the ultimate stage of Cursed, whereupon we may finally reach a 10 Umbral Warframe. And at that point, it is so theorized that all cancer will be wiped out from the world, for it will be concentrated in this single nugget of a Warframe, and my account will spontaneously be deleted by DE so as to protect the world from never having to see such cancer again. By October it should be ready prime? No. You really want me to do that again? Do I even have the Umbral Formers to do it again? Oh shit, I do. Do it. Make me. Come October when it comes to the quest to conquer cancer. And you too can contribute to charity whilst causing a British man to lose his goddamn mind. Ah, dear. It's a good thing the Umbral set isn't actually that good, isn't it? It's a good thing. It is kind of a meme at this point. Although I still use it on Lavos because double the tank. If you sub, am I going to Umbra it? It takes a little bit more than a sub to make me put an Umbra former onto a goddamn Eurali. How cheap do you think I sell out? 100k single donation for Eurali Prime with 12 Umbra former. We've needed more than that to get to where we are, actually. I want to remind y'all, we raised, over the last 2 years, we've raised $11,000 for the quest to conquer cancer. $11,000. I think we were like number 1 and number 2, and stuff like that, out of creators for raising, because just the sheer generosity of this community. You guys have been absolutely stonkers. Oh, sorry, 1,000k is in 1 million. Oh, yeah, you know what? Sorry, yeah. Now I'm processing what you put there. Sorry, you really broke me. Also, I don't see people put 1 million as 1,000k. That's just cursed. That is cursed. But yeah, seriously, this community absolutely blew it out of the water when it came to the quest to conquer cancer over those 2 years. Hence why all the cursed stuff I got up to, including this many Umbrals on Eurali, Umbrals onto yet other frames as well, they definitely did not need them. I think I have a Caliban with an Umbral, you monsters. Why do I have a... But yeah. 1kk is 1 mil, better... Just put 1 mil, 1M. We just put 1M. Christabel? No, don't... No. 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 100,000 is not how you write 1 million. Put your phone down. You are not permitted to type. And if you're not on a phone, I banish you to Twitch Mobile. Everyone who uses it will tell you that is a punishment. 1k to the power of 2. Ugh. Ah, gods above. I do all of this good stuff for the community. All of this good stuff. Flynn comes in here asking for math, and what do I get in response? It's faster to use K instead of numbers. You type 1M. 1M. It's 2 characters. No. Keep reading. You know what? I don't want to anymore. I don't want to. I refuse. I'm done with y'all. Next thing you know, we'll be measuring in stones and Fahrenheit. Oh, gods. Let's not. Let's not. Stone is a stupid value, and I hate that we use it so much in the UK. Fahrenheit is a stupid value, and I'm glad we don't really use it in the UK. People over the age of 70 don't count. It's probably mostly those over 70 at this point. So no. No. Twitch Mobile isn't a punishment. Trust? Doubt. Doubt. Anyway, I haven't given y'all a proper conclusion on the Coda Sporothrix. I know we've gotten distracted and all, but I haven't given you a proper conclusion, so I think we need to properly wrap this up with one final run. And let's do this as properly as possible. Is that the raw one? That's the raw one. There we go. Villain's Formation, Raw, Avenger. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Alright, let's make it happen. Do I mecha it? Mecha might be too good. In for the penny, in for a pound. Can I mecha this? I should be able to pretty easily, actually. Alright then, mecha empowered goes onto there. Mecha pulls. What do I want to flop out for this? I'm keeping the piercing raw. I like piercing raw, so... Sorry, Secrets. We need the strength back. You're very welcome, Flynn. I will make that spreadsheet available. I will make it available. I'll pop it over onto Patreon later on, but I'll put it onto Patreon as a public post So you and anyone else can have access to that as well. I'll make that one publicly available. Which one did I give Mecha Set to? It wasn't Gronklet, it was... Shit, I forget which one it was now. Not by usage. Huin! Of course it was, Huin. Yeah, there's the mecha. Alright. Let's do this. Let's just go shoot some stuff here for a moment. You'll still sub to the Patreon chat should too? Hey! Always for the best. And, for those who may not know, not only does Patreon give you access to the behind-the-scenes stuff, like Meet the Math over there, Meet the Math on the second tier, builds are on the first tier, but also you get access to the Supporter Tea Lounge over on the Discord. You get your name included in the video credits. It's opt-in, so if you don't actually opt in and give me the name, I can't opt you in. But you can opt in. Alright, let's see how much of a bang this can make. And if you just care about making sure as much as possible goes to the creator, Patreon is, aside from tipping, the single best way of doing that as well. So whatever works for you, it works. Do you get naughty pics? No, it's Patreon. Not OnlyFans. Very, very different set of offerings right there. Very different. Not even the guys who pop up on Grindr get that. Alright, so what kind of kill rate can we get with all this near maxed out setup? Only Ken's when? Nope. Only Ken sounds terrible because the majority of people Ken. I'm done. The majority of people named Ken are over 70 at this point. So, you don't want that. You don't want that. They're becoming increasingly senile. And it's becoming an increasing problem. The number of personal documents I'm receiving to my email address now, because my personal email address is my name, I'm finding a lot of people, a lot of old people with exactly my name. Whether they are buying pet food or car insurance, I'm having the details. The one in Australia that sets up their electricity bill, I got that one. The one over in the States that wanted to get food for a hedgehog, yep, got it. The one in this country who had a complaint lodged with Sky TV over God knows what. Yep, got the details there as well. And their subscription for medicine that they could just get through the NHS, but instead they're going private for some reason. Ellie's saying, counter offer, you make only Kens, we don't make 10 Umbral Urani Prime a thing. Not worth it. You ain't getting that kind of content out of me, you lot. You ain't getting that kind of content out of me. What do you take me for, really? I'm Ken Janir, not Ken Hor. What do you take me for? No. You tried? You're very trying. Now to make only Kens, we do 100 Umbra Forma Urali? No one can afford 100 Umbra Forma. No one. It is impossible. Has any account even received 100 Umbra Forma at this point? I don't think that's actually possible. You would need to get D involvement to make that a thing. And to be fair, I wouldn't put it past EE. I really wouldn't put it past them, but still. Don't. I don't care who you are, do not try and get Reb or Zach or anyone in DE to suddenly throw 100 Umbra Formers into my inventory and then say, now you ready them. Because that's just pain. No one deserves that pain. At least I don't want me. You have to get Taylor to it? No! Stop! Don't give them more ideas.
The Engineer! Oh my god! Come here.
See? They were nice to me. You don't want to convince them to be nasty. Angst is dying. I haven't shot since Angst arrived. Oh, come on. Please actually die. Please actually... Damn, there wasn't enough gas. Oh, well. There wasn't quite enough gas for them to actually die. That's a shame. As I thought, what duration am I using on this setup? Oh, not very high. It's only 120%. It's only 120%. I could invest in status duration on this build, I'll be honest, yeah. Well, everything died. Let's see, we're about to get to 5 minutes. Kills. Not 800. Not 800. I have been chatting some shit, but like... Still, we're not getting that 800 mark. That earlier mission was an absolute fluke, wasn't it? Yeah, about 700.
This will help our cause. Extraction
All
is
the loot.
available if you need it.
Alright. How are we doing on level? It's only level 30. I need to finish leveling it. I do need to finish that. Oh god, where is this jade? There it is. Wait, give me that gun back. I'm using that. Think you can hear. Think I know better. I say, worst part is, there's a non-zero chance Rebel Megazak someone will be down for the stupid Umbral shenanigans. Yeah. That is genuinely the spiciest bit of it all, is that there would be... There is that chance that someone would go for it. There is that chance, because this is the same company that not only had me running a sponsor stream, but on said sponsor stream went, haha, you like to stab Ballas? Here's another 23 knives. Put them in his face. It is a thing. Also the same group that heard about Warframe Golf and went immediately, yep, let's put this on prime time, so, you know. They are definitely open to shenanigans that involve yours truly. How many are on that level? 34. How many times have I formed this? I've forgotten now. I think it's only 2 former, right? Yeah, that's not gone to level 35. It's about to level if it can level. No, but it didn't. Okay, cool. It's maxed. It is 2 former. 2 former coins extension? Lovely. Thank you for double checking. So 2 former plus the built-in polarity. We're at 3 polarities. Normal Sporothrix had 4 on it, but we've got the extra capacity from it just being, you know, progenitor weapon. So it should be bueno at this point. Am I an IRL engineer? No. By education? No. Legally? No. Practically? Also no. I'm a Kengineer. That means I'm a solver of practical problems in video games. Like, how do you make Lavos deal even more damage? Just keep shooting, really. That's the answer. That's practical.
And so we learn the importance of clarity and purpose.
But yeah, not an engineer. Not by trade, not by education, or nothing like that. Prior to being a content creator, which I've been doing for 5 years now, but prior to being a content creator, I worked in a call center, and prior to that was in a retail. So, you know, not exactly the most glamorous entry into this kind of math. You thought I was actually an engineer? No. Nope, the name The Kengineer, it actually comes from Team Fortress 2 and a box of, and some boxed wine. Playing on a TF2 server with a couple friends at university who were very, very deep into the boxed wine, and they started renaming all of their weapons some variant of Ken. The Lakenja, the Direct Ken, that kind of thing. And I was playing engineer at the time. I changed my Steam username to, instead of the engineer, the Kengineer. And it just fit as like a perfect username. It just made so much sense, and so I've kept it since. I've just kept that username since. Because let's face it, is there a better way to describe what I do? I am Ken. I appear to engineer these things. Job's a good one, really. So yeah, it came about because of wine on TF2. It's a nice backstory. It's a backstory. It is indeed a backstory. I've been dropped a DM with a screenshot, apparently. I will have to find that at some point in the near future. The K Engineer? No. No, not the K Engineer. Not Thick Engineer. The Kengineer. Yeah. But yeah, not an engineer. So are you really well versed in math out of interest, or do your studies require it? It was from studies, but not so much required as picked up a bit of column A, bit of column B. Mathematics has always been my strong suit. That's come from my dad. He just always was a fan of it as well, so I got plenty of it from him. Salvatore with the hydrate. Cheers. At GCSE level, which is age... What is that? It's like age roughly 13 to 15? Was it 4, or do you call it 14 to 16? It's in that bracket. The 13 to 16 bracket, depending on when and how you do them. For those of you outside the UK, GCSE, I did a GCSE in statistics, as well as mathematics. And I continued that into A-level. Into further education, I had a module that covered statistics as well. And in those modules, in those qualifications, I am... At the time, I was proud to say, it's so far back now, it's hardly a brag. It's kind of sad, really, but at the time, I had 100 in those modules. Not a single point dropped. It's just always been something I've been good at. But beyond age 18 education, I didn't take it further. Didn't take it into university. I went a completely different route, and a absolutely terrible one. But yeah. Thanks, Liam. My grades in Latin were nowhere near as good. My grade in Latin remains the stain on the sheet, the problem at the bottom. The rock that anchors it in humility, as it were. Out of all the grades, out of all the subjects, that disgusting little grade still sits there, and will forever. And I have no intention of changing that. Screw Latin. Dead language anyway, who cares about it? Didn't even summon a demon. What good is it? Right, I'm just rambling at this point. I think it's about time we do a plat giveaway. If you'd like to have a chance at some platinum, exclamation mark ticket in the chat, exclamation mark raffle if you don't know what it's all about. I see there is an ad about to start, so let's make it where that can't happen, so that no one misses out on the details of the draw. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat for a chance to win some platinum. This can go out to any platform. Doesn't matter if you're on PC, Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, or mobile. There we are, I knew there were 5. Doesn't matter if this is your first message ever, you could have been here for 1,000 messages. Everyone gets the exact same chance. Whether you're a follower, subscriber, you could even be part of the Warframe creator program. For all I care, for all the bot cares, everyone gets the same chance. Unless you're called Esprit, in which case apparently he just never wins. Don't know what's up with that guy. Just doesn't win. Well, yeah. From Salvatore asking, by the way, what's the benefit of your Coda disinfection optimization over always 2+15s? The benefit is you can get the extra benefits of the mods, Salvatore. So you can get the live heart cell, you can get the extra potency mod, you can get the extra antivirus mod. You can get one of those. Whereas if you always go for the 15%, you don't. That's optimization. So yeah. Oh, have you never won one either, Crescendo? Oof. Have you never won one? Hold on. Hold on. Let me have a look here. Nope, yeah, we never had a convo on it. You've never won one. Damn. Sucks, I guess. Maybe this time. Who knows? I'll be closing up the drawer in 10, 9, 8, 7. I'm tired of counting. Let's just close it. It's closed. There we are then. If you didn't already grab a ticket, you weren't paying attention the entire 3 hours plus of stream, you'll just have to grab it in another one. Oh shoot, there actually was one this time. Trying to grab it after the close. Unavailable, okay. Couldn't get the ticket because it was no longer available. That's... The nominative determinism right there is quite something. That is quite something. Alright. Let's see. Out of those of you who did enter today, there's only going to be one winner of that Platinum giveaway. That winner today is going to be... Nopi117. Nopi117, congratulations. You are the winner today. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of this stream to get hold of your Warframe username, your platform, and if you have cross-save turned on or not. We'll be able to get that Platinum sent on over to you. All the details will be in the Twitch DM, so do make sure you have those open. To everyone else, though, thank you very much for joining in. You may not have won the giveaway, but you've certainly won the opportunity to enjoy this stream and future streams as well, thanks for the support on the channel. Seriously, all the subs today, all the gift subs, all the bits as well. Much appreciated from every single one of you. I really do appreciate it. And we got Nobi in the chat there. TY, they say. Oh, would you look at that? In fact, would you look at that? We have exactly 2 prior messages from Nopi. The increased rep caps are super nice, going back to the whole higher mastery conversation, and ticket. It is a completely fair giveaway. Doesn't matter how long you've been here, you can get it. Doesn't matter how long you've been here. So let's just send you a quick little smiley face, just to give you an easy whisper to reply to. Nopi, reply to that there please with your Warframe username, platform, and cross. If you have cross-save turned on or not, we'll get that all sorted out. All the details will be after the stream. Alright, let's see, who can we raid into today then? I'm going to assume we can't raid into either Liam or Flynn, given that they've been hanging around in here, but you never know. They may have gone live since. Let's switch us to a quick little intermission arena. You get to see my horrible hair up front and center. I really need to get a haircut. I really, really need to get a haircut. That's my own fault. Alright, let's see. Who have we got live in the Warframe category? Please don't show me some nerd. I don't want to see that. Oh, there he is. That same bloody nerd with that same black jacket and blue logo. Why is he always there when I open the category to see who I can raid? Ugh. There's going to be someone new to the channel on audio only who has no idea what I'm referencing there and thinks I'm just a bastard now. Let's see. What is going on over at Archangel? How... Are they doing some kind of drops or something? Let's go find out. I don't know why, but they seem to be a particularly busy stream today. They must be doing something right. Let's go find out what is happening over at Archangel stream, shall we? Let's set the raid and... Boop. Please tell me I did the right one. I did type it correctly. Alright. Anyway, that is all from me today. Thank you very much everyone for joining in. I will be live again on Wednesday with some more Warframe. In the meantime, have a brilliant start to your week. And if it doesn't go brilliantly, well, then you didn't pay attention when I specifically said it should go brilliantly. I can't help you if you won't listen. I'll see you in the next one. Be your best selves. Bye-bye.